Okay, we should be live now. I'm going to make sure this is all good in terms of audio and whatnot, and then we will begin. Yep, audio sounds fine. All right, now we're ready to go. We've got the divisional round playoffs. We're watching all 4 games. What's good, SGYT, Pokemon, Nickinator? How we doing, fellas? Let's pull up the playoff bracket just so we can refresh everybody. So in the wild card round, we had some very interesting stuff go on. We watched all 3 AFC games, and sure enough, the home teams won in all very different fashions. The Ravens beat the Tigers in a defensive slugfest. The Beats dismantled the Patriots really from the start. We didn't even have to watch the second half. And then this game. If you watched it, enough said. This game was interesting. The NFC, we had the total opposite with all of the wild card teams winning. The back-to-back Ofl Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks were upset by the Saints. The Giants clobbered the Panthers, and then the Minnesota Vikings beat the London Black Knights with a nice comeback in the fourth quarter. Weren't we up 21-0, and then we blew it, and then we came back and won? I think that's what happened. So the only division winner left in the NFC is the Toronto Huskies, and we'll get to see Hector Estrada Jr. make his playoff debut. What's good, Nick, C-Mill, Denmark, and Boomy? Sorry I'm late. We haven't even started yet, so we're not even late. So before we start, I'll show everybody their draft pick situation, because I know some people wanted to see that. So I'll do that real quick. For the playoff teams that are still there, these picks aren't final. For example, if the Wizards win today, they will not have pick 26. Instead, they'll pick later. The Huskies are smiling widely, but New Orleans played pretty well last week. I wouldn't sleep on them. You're telling me we're getting a Chiefs, Ravens, and Huskies. Those are just the higher seeds. Who said the higher seeds were going to win? I don't trust Kansas City as far as I can throw them. And I do predict the Ravens are going to win, but the Beats played awesome in the wild card round, and they're hotter than anybody right now. I think the Vikings can certainly hang with the Giants. The Giants are not as hot as they once were. The Vikings are sort of a question mark to me. The higher seeds won every watch. Oh, well, in that case, yes, then you would be right. But I'm not convinced that's going to happen again. Especially considering the Pioneers had about 7 different chances to win, and they just chose not to. All right, we're going to do what we did last stream. Sirius can decide the order. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick 4 so we can rip the Band-Aid off. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 4. Yes! Siri picked 4. Let's go. We get to start off with our game. I had to wait until the end of the stream last time to get to our game. So now we get to start with the Vikings and the Giants. Yes, Dublin does have the top 2 picks. They got the Jets pick at the beginning of the year, and they were also not good. Imagine getting the first overall pick, but you don't have your own pick. New York Jets football, baby. All right, Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. That is the Giants. I hope you win so you lose to me. I hope we play Toronto in the NFC Championship too. I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't want the Huskies to win because I think we have a better chance against New Orleans, but that would be a fun game. So every Northern playoff game is going to have the playoff blizzard thing. I recently learned from the Eagles series that it's like coded into the game that every playoff game in like a northern area of the country, it's going to have a blizzard if you click on that. So I don't want every game to be a blizzard. Kansas City's not really north, but the other 3 are. So I want some blizzards today, but we don't need every game to have snow. So maybe we'll save snow for the other games. And we won't do it here. Because it will be there for every other northern team. Which, Toronto's definitely north. The Ravens are definitely north. And I don't know if it's going to have snow in Kansas City. Maybe. Definitely going to click it for the Toronto game. Definitely. Because, Canada and all that. How have you done in Survivor? So you won us one challenge on your back, so pretty good in that sense. What jerseys do we want the Giants to wear today? Do we want to go normal jerseys? Do we want to go throwbacks? They do have some nice throwbacks. Hint, hint. Oh, Echo. Oops. There we go. How can I forget? Snow randomly pops up for a Rams home game. Yeah, imagine if they had snow in a dome in Los Angeles in the middle of January. That would be something. What jerseys do I want to wear for us while we figure out the Giants? The color rushes are not white. That's not right. Yeah. Yeah, why don't we rock with the color rushes? I think purple and blue is easy enough to differentiate. Do we have any complaints with the Giants throwback jerseys going once, going twice? Sold to nobody. All right, we're rocking with the throwbacks. Let's go, Malik. Ball. Last year in the divisional round, Malik Willis's first play from scrimmage was a pick 6, and we never recovered from that, obviously losing to the eventual champion Seattle Seahawks. So we have not made it out of a divisional round once. I know there's been some talk about us being the next evil empire, but this team has never made it out of a divisional round. And I'm pretty sure of the past 10 OFL Bowls, I've won maybe 1. So, yeah, there's been a lot more parity over the past 10 seasons. I kind of dig the yellow jersey numbers. Those look cool. Huskies, Vikings, score predictions, no bias. We got to see if these two teams make it. I think there's a very strong chance we don't even win this game. The Giants are a better team than us. They were better throughout the year. They clobbered Carolina, albeit Carolina's not that good. You could argue they were a worst NFC playoff team. I have 4 rings, RNP has 2. RNP never won before this year. He's made it before this year. He made it once, only once last year. Yeah, but yeah, the first time the Bucks won. Because RNP lost the first time, and then we lost the second time. So RMP is 2, Alpo is 2, Roberto has 2, Hobie has 2, and then a few people have 1, and obviously I have 4. And obviously most of us have none. But maybe that'll change here. A lot of ringless coaches as we start with a sack. Jalen Carter, the former Georgia Bulldog. Of the coaches left, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's won a championship. Oh no, Naruto's won one. And Naruto, of course, is the Giants. So there's going to be one championship coach left, as of course we allow like 20. But obviously Hector's never won one. Tushaisty's never won one because he's been a coach since last week. SGYT's never won one. Dan's never won one. Bakker's never won one. Meals has never won one. So it's just Naruto and I. Naruto's ring. Naruto has won Mickey Mouse ring. I mean, he did win it, but yeah, he was handed a pretty good situation. RNP was not the Rams in that in 19. Roberto is the Rams in 19. RNP in 19, I think was, I want to say Carolina. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the Panthers. The Panthers are like the factory of sadness in OFL. They always are a good team. They always are a consistent playoff threat, but they never go anywhere. This year last year they won one. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Last year Mr. Rob won it the first year, and they almost won it the second year, but they lost to us. So screw what I said. I'm not correct. Carolina has a ring. But other than those first 2 years last year, Carolina's always in the playoffs, but they always come up short. Saquon just mauled his way through 2 defenders. Huskies have the ball 3rd and 10. Hector gets sacked and injured. Jacoby Brissett comes in, throws a game-winning Hail Mary on 4th and 20 with 3 seconds left at the 40-yard line. So does that imply that the Huskies win the game? Because in that case, I don't think it's that cool of a scenario. It's only cool if Chidobe Awuzie forces a fumble at the 1-yard line. Awuzie picks it up and the Vikings win the game. That's a cool scenario. I like that. Is Tony Pollard hurt since Jaden Jackson was in the 4th quarter? I know I wrote the injuries down in the server the other day. Let me see if Tony Pollard is among them. The only player injured for the Wizards is Alex Kappa, one of your offensive guards. So Tony Pollard's all good. I don't know if he was injured during the game or it was just Jaden Jackson happened to be getting the bulk of the touches in the 4th quarter, which obviously worked out because he played quite well. Saquon brings it to the 1. Can they punch it in? 3rd and goal. A stop here would be pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Macaroni and cheese scrambles to the right and he throws it away. Throw away Mac. That's his favorite play. He has 69 yards, by the way. Nice. 4th and goal at the 1. They're gonna kick. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. No one here wants to watch your stupid team go far in the playoffs. Well, Hector wants us to win today. So as far as I'm concerned, we have one person rooting for us. Predictions for Ofl Bowl 18. I'm going to stick with my Ravens pick in the AFC. In the NFC, do I think Toronto's going to get the job done? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Ravens over Huskies. I'm rooting for Octi. See, Denmark is cool. Be more like Denmark. Nuke random places. You want the Vikings because you like Malik? See, there's another one. Everyone's rooting for us. I was told nobody wanted my stupid team to go far, but here we are. Hey, Malik Willis' first pass was not a pick 6. Unlike last year in the divisional round. Rooting for Octi in the NFC and SGYT in the AFC. That'd be a fun matchup. I'd be really good with, honestly, I don't think I'd be mad with any of these teams winning. I don't dislike any of the teams. Obviously, I want us to win. But if not us, there isn't a team that I'm like, oh boy, I hope they don't win. Although I don't know if there's any team in the league. Maybe Toronto. Because they're a rival. But other than that, and even so, I wouldn't be that upset with Toronto because they are the best team in the league throughout the regular season. So if anybody deserves it, it's probably them. Nothing worse than the Mahomes debacle. He really tried to sell. Did he have 3 interceptions in the first half? I think it was 3. It might have been 2, but I feel like it was 3. And then in the second half, he flipped the switch and it turned into Mahomes. It would be funny seeing Hector get a ring before Nick. I can't disagree. It'd be funny seeing Hector get a ring before a lot of people. Ravens versus Beats is the AFC Championship. Well, I mean, I think both of those teams would have a good chance to win the AFC Championship, but don't sleep on Kansas City or Orlando. I think Orlando's really good for a 4 seed. They've always been very good throughout watch games. And then the Chiefs are the number 1 seed. So, don't sleep on them either. What happened while you were gone? I don't know when you left, but that happened. Touchdown for the Vikings in the corner of the end zone. Who's 5? Is that Pittman? That looks like Pittman. I'm pretty sure that's Pittman. Michael Pittman Jr., the $40 million man, with the touchdown. They're going to review it. It looked like he was in at first glance. That's close. Oh, no, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's good. That's a touchdown. Yep. All right, good. Compare the 14-3 Huskies to any historic NFL team. Put them against the 07 Patriots, they'd probably lose by 30. Put them against the MVP Peyton Broncos, they'd probably lose by about 20. Am I going to bring Pittman back? I don't know, because since he's a tight end, his contract demands are going to change. We obviously have a bazillion players who are free agents, including a bunch of our receivers. Henry Ruggs is a free agent. Rashad Bateman's a free agent. Since those two have been here since the start, I would probably prioritize bringing those two back. They also should be a little bit cheaper because Pittman has Superstar and they don't. 14-3 Huskies is like the 2008 Detroit Lions. I mean, I will say this. The 2008 Lions have someone better than probably anybody on Toronto's team. Although I will say, whenever we watch the Huskies, Mike Evans does look like prime Calvin Johnson. First quarter in the books, Minnesota leads 7-3. Can the Vikings get back to the... I say get back to the NFC Championship as if we've ever made it. Which we haven't. I don't think any of these 8 teams have made it to a conference championship yet. The Chiefs have been close. We've been close. The Giants have been in the playoffs every year, but they've never made it. None of the 8 teams left have ever made it to a conference championship in OFL 22. That's honestly pretty cool. 2008 Lions are the winless Browns. I've said this before. I think the 2017 Browns team would win by about 3 scores. I wasn't a football fan in 2008, so I don't really know exactly how bad we were. But from what I know, and from what I know about the 2017 Browns, Cleveland's team was definitely better. I've made the conference championship many times, but in OFL 22 I have not. But in OFL 20 I made it quite a few times. Ruggs going to be let go to the Minnesota State Penitentiary. I guess it's a lot less likely to get in trouble in Minnesota than Las Vegas. So that's why he's probably still, you know, on the field. What is good real life? Welcome in. 4-13 Huskies or the 2017 Browns. Probably the Huskies, because at least they won some games. Cleveland with Deshaun Kaiser at QB1. And during that like college football season, Kaiser was supposed to be like such a high pick. I remember at the beginning of the year, it was him, Deshaun Watson, and Lions legend Brad Kaya as like the top 3 quarterbacks. And then Kaiser slipped. Kaya definitely slipped. And Mahomes and Trubisky kind of moved up. Of those guys, I'm pretty sure the only one who's led his team in an OFL Bowl game before to win was Brad Kaya. So I'm just saying, Brad Kaya has more OFL rings than the 4 of those guys combined. Although Patrick Mahomes might change that this year. But the very first OFL Bowl game we watched, OFL Bowl 2, it was the Rams and I'm pretty sure the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson was hurt. Brad Kaya came in and played quite well. As Saquon converts. That was a 4th down, too. Octi's evil empire died the moment OFL Bowl 14 started. We had plenty of chances to win that game, if I remember correctly. I remember I was going into that stream thinking there's no way we're going to lose. Today's not the day that I'm going to lose a championship. But here we are. If you watch the OBL finals and some of the draft, I'll give Josh Bell a challenge they will be good at. What type of challenge would it be? I'm intrigued. Brad Kaya won a ring. I don't think he won OFL Bowl MVP, but he played well in that game. As the Giants get the lead back with a touchdown of their own. Who's 86? I don't know who Naruto's tight end is. But he got the touchdown. Will you do position changes if it's him next year? Because you have a plan. The sim next... Oh, the sim year next, like, OFL 23? I don't see why not. Yeah. Although, I don't even know what type of OFL we're doing yet, but... We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The Steelers are releasing Trey Edmonds. Oh, wow. So sad. Future Bill. He's no longer in the team with one of his brothers. Now he has to join the other one. You have a plan for... I have a plan for Retro OFL too. Give Calvin the ball, and that's about it. But that's a pretty good plan. The plan only fits if we do current rosters. Current rosters is in, like, on Madden 23. I'm confusion. Or, like, not fantasy. If we do Retro OFL, I don't think we're going to do a fantasy draft. Unless everybody wants it, but I don't think everybody wants it, and I think it would be funner to stick with the current rosters. Which maybe we wouldn't even need to do a sim year. I mean, maybe we might as well, just so we can, like, experience an off-season. And since it's not a fantasy draft, the first free agency class is actually not going to be booty cheeks. That's one of the good things about Retro OFL, I think. We can have fun immediately in the off-season because the free agency classes are going to be, like, actual good players. Don't trade Ofl Bowl for a 6. Good idea. Who's better, Big Ben or Deshaun Watson? Well, Big Ben's obviously had the longer career. Deshaun Watson's, you know, done it with more... We're not going to go there. At their peak, I mean, I would say it's pretty even. But obviously longevity goes to Big Ben. I guess it's Patrick's from your whole town. Your whole town. Wow, I can't read. Hometown. That makes a lot more sense. Friends with his sister, even though you never hung out with him, it's still crazy to know that he's on the Steelers, and he's quite good for the Steelers. Didn't they just extend him? Maybe they didn't, but I feel like they did. Because he would be a free agent in the offseason. Yeah, I feel like they paid him. Did they not? He's going into what, year 5? Yeah, he was picked the same year Baker Mayfield was, and he's in year 5. Yeah, last month he signed a $73.6 million extension for 4 years. Wow, that's a lot for a safety. The answer was me. Octa, you're saying Big Ben lasts longer. That's what I said. Big Ben lasts longer. Deshaun Watson might be getting a little bit excited. Nice play by, I assume that's Najee Harris? Yup. Najee Harris puts the Vikings back ahead 14-10 with 44 seconds left in the half. Good drive from the fellas. And we do start with the ball in the second half, which is a big deal. If I was to give you the OFL All 100 team, where would Jamison Crowder rank? I don't know. Would Jamison Crowder be like a top 3 OFL receiver ever? Who would be the top 3? I feel like Juju from last year has to be there. That might be partly biased, because that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but Juju last year was quite good, even though Cobra won't want to hear it. Did I think Malik would turn out to be this good? This is sort of what I expected, because I knew the Saints playbook would be good. Problem is, I did not have the Saints playbook in until halfway through this season, which I didn't even realize. So, in that case, I didn't quite expect him to be that good. But we do have an interesting decision next year if we want to pay him. Because there are a lot of guys that I'm going to have to give big contracts to who are elite players at their position. And I don't know if I would say Malik Willis is elite. OFL 22, John Vincent. Wasn't Curtis Samuel a running... Oh, no, you had Joe Mixon at running back. Yeah, OFL 20, Curtis Samuel was a freaking monster. If you had to combine two OFL teams, not including yours, and it has to be from this year, as in OFL 22, I feel like Seattle has to be one of them. I mean, they've won the 2 championships. And then other than that, I'd probably want to pick a team with like a really good running back and a really good pass rusher. Maybe like the Pioneers, because they have Joe Mixon. They always have had a good defense. If you combine the prime Seahawks and the prime Pioneers, that team would be nasty. The worst OFL team of all time. I think the Washington, name redacted, won 1 game one season in like OFL 20. Yeah, no, Trey Sermon doesn't count. So, no. If you want a running back and a pass rush, I'm your guy. Well, you've always had the running back. I mean, I guess you have Shaq Barrett, but you've also never made the playoffs. I have to choose I feel like I have to pick a good team. Yeah, I think they tied a game too, 114-1. That sounds about right. With Pro as their coach. And then they picked a normal depth safety, I think, with the first overall pick. Although he was like an 80 overall. I forget his name. If Malik Willis wasn't this good, would I have drafted Hector? Well, I did choose Malik over Hector. In hindsight, I probably would have picked Hector, in hindsight, knowing what we know now. I'm obviously very happy with Malik Willis. He's been quite good for the most part. But knowing what we know now, I feel like I have to pick Hector. Has anyone ever only lost 1 game? I'm not sure. I know no one's ever gone undefeated. But I don't know off the top of my head. I feel like someone's had to have gone 15-1. I don't think anyone's ever gone 16-1. That would be last year or this year. I don't think that's happened. I feel like somebody had to have gone 15-1. One of those Alpo teams, or one of those Rams teams, or one of those Niners teams, they had to have won 15 games. At least I didn't draft check down Corral over Hector. That's true. That would have been a pretty bad miss. Yeah, the Bison only lost 1 game in the sim year. I don't know how much that counts, but they did only lose 1 game. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. The Falcons and OFL 19, that's right. Those teams were always quite good. They just never got over the hump. I feel like they had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback then, too. I might be wrong about that, but it seems like Aaron Rodgers is always finding his way in Atlanta here. Still don't know why Hector dropped. I think he was projected to go in like the 4th round. So if anything, he was picked early. Third and 1. I think he got it. Yep. He got 2. Where do you rank on the top 32 coaches? I feel like most of the newer coaches would probably be a little bit closer to the bottom. I definitely wouldn't put you last. I think you've done a good enough job to be out of like that absolute bottom tier. But since you're newer and you haven't like proven a ton, probably somewhere in like the early 20s. Yeah, then they had Rodgers, and I know they had Wentz at one point too. Back when Wentz was like a top 5 pick in the fantasy drafts back then. Now he was not even getting picked. Can't wait to go pull a Bengals and go from one of the worst teams to Super Bowl contenders in record time. Well, that's a big, tall task, but we'll see. Where would you rank amongst coaches? Probably similar to Denmark, maybe a little bit higher because you've been here a little bit longer and your team's in the playoffs. Obviously, if the Ravens make a big run, win a game or 2, make the Ofl Bowl, maybe even win it, then you would certainly move up quite high. Would you be in the top 10? I don't think anyone who's been here for just like this year would be in the top 10 because most of the newer people haven't won a whole lot. RNP's won the 2 championships, and he's obviously not new. Fantasy drafts, you've gone quarterback, defensive end in that order. I was about to say who'd you pick last year, but you guys have the number 1 pick, which was Patrick Mahomes, who seems to get traded every OFL at least once or twice. 2nd and 9, deep shot for the end zone. It's a touchdown. And the Giants are back ahead. I think that was Chidobe Awuzie who covered him too. Where would you rank? Bakker would certainly be higher because he's old. Last year in OFL 21, he always built really good teams who just, again, never could get over the hump. And if the Beats make a playoff run this year, then that'll mean Bakker's had a team make a run this year and a team make multiple runs last year. So that would mean he's got to be probably top 10-ish. I think that was Elijah Moore with the touchdown. Compare you to any previous OFL coach. I feel like it would be easier if I know if you won or not. Because if you guys lost, especially in the NFC Championship, then I feel like an easy comparison would be like Bakker or AP, because both of those guys have always built very good teams that just have never been able to get over the hump. The best coach who does not have a ring, not named Nick. I think I'd have to say Apple. He made the OFL Bowl his first 2 years as a coach. He lost both of them. And he's never been back since. But he's always had good playoff contenders, except for this year. And he has one of the highest rated rosters in the league. So it's not really his fault. But last year the Colts were always good. In Madden 20 the Eagles were always good. How good do I think you'll be as a coach? Well, I've never seen you coach before, particularly in a football league. So I have no idea. I think you know enough about how football works to not be, like, bad. But I've never seen you do it before, so I don't fully know what to expect. Incoming Apple to complain about his team's roster. But at least he fleeced the Falcons for Trayvon Mullen. So it's all good, right? Poor Cardinals never won it all. They should have had 1 or 2 rings. They absolutely should have. I think in terms of the regular season, nobody was better than the Cardinals last year. Mullen was supposed to be a Niner. Imagine if he wasn't on Washington. Then Apple would never be a Trayvon Mullen sexual. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offense. We're not even trying to run the ball, which, I mean, Malik is playing really well. So in case of that, I'm not that upset, but we're not even trying to run the ball. And Najee Harris was a fringe Offensive Player of the Year candidate. Thank God he watched Moneyball twice to build a team over 500. Thing is, I don't think he's had a team over 500 in OFL 22. Hey, there's a good run. Najee brings it to the 6th, so that will wrap up the 3rd. This has been a quick game, and it's been a close game. The Giants lead 17-14, but the Vikings are marching on the doorstep of the end zone. The Giants looking for revenge from last year's playoff game, the wild card round in Minnesota, which we won. That was my only playoff win in OFL 22 before the win against the Black Knights on, when was the last stream? Thursday? I think it was Thursday. This OFL draft might suck. No big storylines. Well, we'll see. I mean, I still not touched the draft class yet, so I have no idea. Denmark, go to your shed. Okay, can we please put the ball in the end zone? I prefer not to have the game tied and the Giants get the ball back. Third and goal. Malik's going to run with it. And he connects for the lead. Rashad Bateman with the touchdown, and it's now 21-17. We should juice the draft since we're almost at the end. That's probably a good idea. Just so these draft picks can still be, valuable. It's been like 2 months. How many players can I make because of light mode? I don't know, like 4 maybe? That's impressive that you've been on this the whole time and your eyes haven't bled out yet. Did Apple not? I don't think he has. He's been close. I think he's consistently built 7 or 8 teams, but 7 or 8 win teams. I don't think I said win. But I don't think he's ever been over 500. Jamison Crowder is better than that bum wide. Well, yeah, because Jamison Crowder plays in the slot and gets like 1,000 yards a year, but in his sleep. Of course he's better. Who's 22? I think that's AJ Terrell. What was that? Was he even trying on that play? That was brutal. He not only allowed the catch to Darnell Mooney, but he just ran out of bounds. Is like, okay, you can score. You can score. That's fine. Want to trade me number 22? No, I'm good, but I'm not pleased with number 22 at the moment. I won the Debo. That wasn't even Debo. That was Darnell Mooney. Although Debo's team is out of the playoffs, so in that case, maybe you did win it. The dude helping us in Survivor yesterday had light mode on. He could not have helped us as much as you think. You know what? That's fair reasoning. I'm not going to argue against that. This game is better than the Chiefs-Bills. Let's not get crazy yet. The reason why the Chiefs-Bills game was so great was because of the end, which was freaking awesome. But we're not even at the end here. And I didn't even get to watch most of that game. I think I had a basketball game that night, so I only watched the end, which, thank goodness I didn't miss that part. But I didn't even get to watch most of it. So I can't really go into detail how good the game itself was, but I know the ending was sick, because I saw that. Are you mad that we lost the last Survivor game? I'm not mad because it was fair enough. That's going to be a late hit. That should be an extra 15 yards. The Giants sent Debo to the Giants. Yeah, no, I said Debo's team is out. Debo plays for London. London's out. That's what I meant. Wait, no, he went from the Giants to the Browns and then the Black Knights. I got the order wrong. Yeah, Debo's been on 2 teams since the Giants, so that's like really old news. At least you're not the shock tribe. That's true. Nickinator said that, but I think I also said that too. So, maybe you were responding. Did I say Giants, Black Knights? I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Debo's teams, plural, are both out, and the Giants are still here. So, therefore, the Giants kind of win. Oh, boy, I don't like that. Nope. Ed Nite Moody is hurt. Great. It seems like he gets hurt every watch game, which shouldn't really be a surprise because linemen get hurt frequently in this game, and he definitely has a low injury rating. So I'm not sure why I'm surprised by that. 3rd and 5. Don't get sacked. Then he gets sacked by Chandler Jones. We should still tie it. Yeah, we'll tie it. This is a 44-yard kick. We'll be good. But still, this could be a situation where the team who gets the ball last wins. And I don't feel great about that. Because the Giants had the upper hand to start since they have the ball now. And they're not losing. It was fun watching Octi sob at the sight of his tribe lose. I was just confused on some of the ruling. But the challenge itself, I think we lost fairly. It's just that we only had one easy vote. So now if we lose, we're actually going to have to get rid of somebody valuable. That's why I didn't want to lose that challenge, because if we lose another one, which is, I guess, probably inevitable, then we're going to have to get rid of somebody who I think is a good piece to the team. Chandler Jones, former OFL Raven. You shouldn't have traded him, because maybe we would have scored a touchdown on that play. Why did you draft me before Giddy? Honestly, I don't really know. That's a good question. I'll let you ask. Casey Stock still be catching L's. No surprise here. Unlike the actual Casey Shock, their team can't just run away from their problems. That makes it sound like Casey Shock himself was problematic. He was just fast. It's paid off. You did win as the first challenge. That is true. 3rd and 5. Mac Jones. Yes, good stop. They lost 7. Can we change to the Greg Dortch tribe? If it was the Hector Survivor, then we could, but it's not. So maybe one day Greg Dortch becomes a channel legend. We'll see. I wouldn't put money on it. Which team? Is Greg Dortch currently on an NFL roster? What if he's on one of the rosters of the teams I'm considering picking? That'd be funny. I don't think he is, though. Is he still on the Cardinals? Was he on the Cardinals? Wasn't he on Dallas? No, he's on the Cardinals. Didn't he play for Dallas at one point? No, he didn't. But he's on the Cardinals. We should have the Doris tribe. I mean, who knows? Maybe we sprinkle in some OFL players for the tribes in the future. That is, I guess, technically an Octagonal legend, even though he's on your team. But I guess he still counts. Am I good in the council so far? If you say no, I will ban you. Well, I don't know exactly your council's dynamics. I don't know who's done what. So I can't really say. And obviously it's been early, so I have no clue. But I'm confident you guys as a group will be good. I don't know who's going to be better at what. You know everything about Greg Dortch. Where did Greg Dortch go to school? I actually have to Google this. I don't know it. Because I really only know Greg Dortch because you're obsessed with him. I shouldn't have said Google it. Then he's going to Google it if he didn't know. Jeez, he's 5'7". Would you allow me to trade for Greg Dortch? I don't think Greg Dortch is going to do much. He's probably in the 60s. Born in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, you're totally not using Wikipedia. He ran a 4.59 at 5'7"? Good God. That's, like, not good. How do you run a 4.6 at 5'7" and still get a job? I mean, good for him, I guess, but... Two-minute warning. We're pretty close to field goal range. Just for the love of God, don't turn the ball over, and I think we'll be good. Run it here on 3rd and what? 2? 3rd and 1. If there's any team who has sucked in short yardage rushing situations throughout OFL 22, it's been us. But I traded for Najee Harris for this exact reason. Even though I probably gave up too much on paper, this is why I got him. Boom! Stiff arm. Antonio Gibson's not making that play. Not everybody is naturally fast like Giddy. Yeah, but this is the NFL. Greg Dortch is a professional football player. If he was like a normal person, I'd get it. But he's in the NFL. So I would, if I'm drafting somebody who's 5'7", I would hope he's a little bit faster than 4'6", especially if he's a return specialist. I feel like the number one thing I would look for in a return specialist is somebody who's pretty fast. It's not over yet. We're in a good spot. Now we're in a really good spot. Najee Harris busts the hole. That's what he said. And the Vikings are ahead. A Najee Harris touchdown. Again, I traded for him for a reason. Antonio Gibson's not making these plays. As good as Gibson is, and although I, again, probably overpaid, this is why. Brady is in the NFL and isn't fast. Yeah, but Greg Dortch isn't Tom Brady. There's a difference. There's just a little bit of a difference. Even though we scored a touchdown there, what we could have done, and arguably should have done, was kept chewing the clock, not scored a touchdown on that one play, and then just tried to get like a field goal as time expired. So, although I don't think it was the wrong move to score the touchdown, now the Giants have a real opportunity. With 1:15 in a timeout, they could absolutely score a touchdown here. And they've had a few really nice deep plays today. And that's not a great start. Can Macaroni and Cheese, who's 18 for 19, by the way, lead his team to tie the game? 19 for 20, 278, and 3 touchdowns. I think that's pretty good. Booth review. They're reviewing a gain of 8. Kind of an irrelevant play in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if he's in. I think that's Jonnu Smith. He actually might not be in. It does nothing to the clock because he's out of bounds, so the clock is stopped regardless. So either it'll be a 2nd and 2 or a 2nd and 10. So a small difference, but nothing like crazy. And they reversed it. Yeah, from that angle, it looked like he only got one in, so that's probably the right call. If the Chiefs and Ravens lose, we win. We should have a clear shot at the Ofl Bowl title. Don't sleep on the Beats or the Wizards. The Wizards can beat anybody in watch games. And then the Beats are the hottest team in the league. So I think we would be an underdog against anybody in the AFC. Maybe not Toronto, because Toronto is 14-3. But I think if we were to make the OFL Bowl, we'd be an underdog against all those teams. 3rd and 10. Mack launches a bomb! Is that AJ Terrell again? Oh, my Lord. Darnell Mooney ties it up. You know what? Maybe I will trade AJ Terrell. He's been pathetic today. Good God. Is he trying to lose? He got burnt twice by Darnell Mooney. At this point, I might as well trade him. I would be glad to. Chidobe Awuzie and Greg Newsome is a very capable outside starting corner duo. We don't even need him. We don't even need him. We're not losing, but I'm not as confident as I was 20 seconds ago. Feel free to DM me any offers you want for AJ Terrell because he's 100% on the block right now. He is looking like Eli Apple. Is Terrell a free agent? He actually might be. I'm not sure. Because I drafted him. I think I picked him after Greg Newsome. So Terrell would have been in like the 7th or 8th round. So he should be a free agent. But I'm not 100% sure. But if the contracts are aligned and whatnot, then he should be. All right, 40 seconds. It's up to Malik Willis. We have all 3 timeouts. And we're not losing. So even if we don't score, why would we not call time? We have 3 of them in our back pocket. What are we doing? We just wasted half of the clock. We're running short passes. Can we have like a 30-yard gain, please? Pretty please? Down to about 10 seconds. Why are we running these short passes? We have timeouts, but that's still stupid. Now we have no choice but to run a Hail Mary. Oh boy, we're really about to let this game go into overtime because AJ Terrell can't cover a fly. Final play of regulation. Willis heaves it up. It is incomplete, and we are going to overtime. 31-31. I am terrified. Tails never fails, guys. Please know the drill. Tails never fails. Please be smart, captains. Tails never fails. Tails never fails. Well, except for about 20% of the time. All right, so the defense has to get a stop. Do I think we will? No, I honestly don't. This is all AJ Terrell's fault. If we lose this game, it is all on him. Please, defense, please clutch up. Mac Jones has thrown like 2 incompletions all day. And Saquon's in the zone. I have a horrible feeling about this. Not a great start. I don't let other people make roster moves in the game, so it's only fair that I don't bench him. And the Giants are a user anyway, so I couldn't bench him even if I wanted to. Ooh, we stopped him, I think. Oh, we didn't. A field goal, if we allow a field goal, I'll be happy. I just do not want them to score a touchdown, obviously. If AJ Terrell allows a game-winning touchdown, I will cut him on the spot. How about that? He is literally a double agent out there. Yeah, this is going about as horribly as I expected. So I'm not surprised that this drive is starting off this way. But, yeah, I'm a little bit petrified at the moment. Who's number 1? Chidobe is number 1. Chidobe could allow the game-winning touchdown. I wouldn't be mad at him. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is bad. This is real bad. They're now in the red zone. This is not good. My heart is literally beating out of its chest right now. Okay, good. If we allow a field goal, I will be happy. Just no touchdowns. No touchdowns. Yeah, now I know how all of you who cringe over your defensive play calling feels. Yeah, now I know how you feel, and it's not fun. Rest in peace, the evil empire, in air quotes. 3rd and 6. I think they're going to score here. I do not have a good feeling. It's... Oh, my... Are you kidding me? Are you joking? So we stopped him, but we didn't. Well, the Vikings are out. I didn't expect us to win an Ofl Bowl this year, so I shouldn't be surprised. But... well, that's one way to lose. Yeah, I love how AJ Terrell's dapping up Mac Jones. Mac is like, yeah, thank you for sucking balls. So, the Giants are going to the NFC Championship. Yeah, that's, what did you missed a lot. Yeah, I'm going to cringe my eyes out seeing this again. So, was Terrell on the other side? Yeah, Chidobe was not involved. Terrell was not involved. So, this would have been Newsome. And Newsome made the play to deflect it. I want to use a good ball. Hold on. Newsome made a good play. Yeah, he deflected it. So, that's not even really our fault. Newsome makes a really good play, deflecting it. Maybe if Queen had gotten to him a little bit faster, had gotten in Barkley's way, that would have been nice. But it's 100% not on Greg Newsome. I think it's more so just a good offensive play. But if I have to blame somebody, it would be Queen. Terrell did not Terrell. Newsome did nothing wrong. But yeah, Mac Jones played really well. Our defense does not deserve to move on anyway. Malik Willis was fantastic. Him and Najee Harris did their best to carry the team. Najee was great too. We should have gotten him the ball a little bit more. Okay, he did catch 8 passes, so maybe we got it to him enough. Saquon Barkley had a nice game, including that. Darnell Mooney had a nice day because A.J. Terrell cannot cover a fly. Yeah, this is a perfect MVP award for A.J. Terrell. Yeah, that is kind of like the David Garrard Hail Mary, but that wasn't in the playoffs. But other than that, that's kind of similar. We got to do 3 more games after this, too. I don't know how we're going to beat that. I mean, that was quite the ending. It would have been a little bit more fun if I wasn't on the losing end of it, but at least everybody else enjoyed it. Okay. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. Hey, Siri, give me a number between 1 and 3. 2. Ravens and Beats. I think this is the game of the week. This is going to be fun. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. That is the Beats. Glad that type of ending happened to me for a change. I'm starting to think Madden does not like me as much. I still think it would be unfair to say Madden dislikes me, because Madden's been very kind to my teams over the years. But really, ever since we won the Ofl Bowl last year, I don't know if I can say Madden has liked me since then. Is Terrell cut? Put it this way. I don't think I can bring him back next year after that display. So, I don't know, maybe it's like a sign-and-trade scenario. I don't feel like I can let him go for nothing, because he has a lot of trade value. Octi hasn't won, so Octi is blaming Madden. Everybody else blames Madden, and rightfully so. I mean, A.J. Terrell, I don't even know if he allowed 2 touchdowns all season. So, in real life, I meant. So, for that to happen, but yeah, I think a sign-and-trade might be in the works. If the Beats win this game, the winner of Chiefs-Wizards obviously goes to the Ofl Bowl. Color rush for Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, Bacher knows a thing or two about losing the conference championship. And then he wants the black jersey. I think the black and the dark purple is too close together. Somebody's going to have to do something different. These are too similar. Somebody's going to have to wear white or something lighter. You don't want to trade him to the Huskies. I don't think I'm trading him in division. That sounds like a bad idea. If no one volunteers to change their jersey, we'll have Siri pick a number 1 through 2. Do I have volunteers going once, going twice? I'll do color rush with white. So everything is the same except for white. Like all white, white pants. Like this. How much do you want for him? Probably a 1 and then some, or a set of good players. Kai Blue, Jarrett Patterson, and 5 picks. Well, if the picks aren't good, then I don't think I'm going to want those guys. Q Blue is like, white with color rush pants. Jarrett Patterson's nothing. So unless there was like a 1 and then like a 1 and a 3, then I don't regret passing on that. If I can't get anything for him, I'll just keep him, which I now realize is probably a bad idea. I don't know how I can feasibly put him in a Viking jersey after that. Hold on, let me see the trade offer from a month ago. It was Caillou Blue, Jarrett Patterson, London first, this year 3rd, next year 5th, next year 2nd, next year 4th. Yeah, I wish I did that. That's actually a pretty good deal. Dante Jackson and some defense. Well, if some defensive tackle's good, then maybe I'm interested. Looks like the Beats are going to start at the ball, so we're going to get a look at Joe Burrow and the Brooklyn offense first. Brooklyn's offense was very good last week. They scored 41 points. They dominated New England. It was never really a game from the start. High 70s, you on your star dev. I'm intrigued. I like that. And Dante Jackson's quite good, and he's fast. You know, if A.J. Terrell had like plus 3 or 4 speed, we would have won the game. I'm just saying. So, Dante Jackson would not have made those specific mistakes. Is Dante Jackson a free agent? Because I would obviously want to make sure that he's not, like, overpaid. I think Trayvon Diggs had an interception in... Did he have an interception in a user game? Speaking of interceptions, that was caught by the defense, but out of bounds. Yeah, if he's a free agent, I'm not opposed to it, but I would obviously want to make sure he's on like a decent contract. He wants a 1-year deal. Honestly, that's probably good. I'd probably rather only a 1-year deal than like something long. I imagine Terrell wants something long because he's like 25, 26, whereas Dante Jackson is like 29. He wants 1 year, $9 million. Yeah, I think with the older players, you have to overpay him a little bit more. But like 10 or 11 mil, I wouldn't mind. Burrow takes another shot, and it's incomplete again. The Ravens won their first playoff game because of their defense. They shut down Tom Brady, and now they've got to shut down Joey B. The Tigers' offense is quite good, and so is the Beats. The Ravens have been my Ofl Bowl winner prediction since the start of the playoffs. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Beats win this game either. I like both of these teams. Here comes the man, the myth, the legend, Dan, the Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite. 2 first-round picks and a lot more. You know, maybe trading him in division is not the worst idea in the world. I feel like Cobra would sell me his entire team for A.J. Terrell because A, he's a Falcon, and Cobra needs corner really badly. Maybe I should have just traded A.J. Terrell all along if everybody wants him. Did you guys not see him get burnt twice and single-handedly lose us a playoff game? I mean, I'm not complaining. If I can get 2 1s and stuff, at this point I'd be making a division rival worse. First-rounders aren't worth it unless we juice for draft class. Then maybe it is. I like this idea. I'd be happy to give Terrell as much money as you want. Your best corner is Dante Jackson. Well, if Hector's going to offer me 2 1s and a lot of other good stuff, then Dante Jackson no longer excites me. Because this sounds like a lot of goodies for the goodie basket. Third and 1. They give it back to Zeke, who was very good in the wild card round game, and then he's been very good throughout the year. These two teams played against each other earlier in a watch game. I forget who won. I feel like it was Baltimore. I feel like Ezekiel Elliott played really well in that game, too. I'll trade you Hector for Terrell. Sure. Count it in. I'm in. I'll give you Trayvon Diggs for A.J. Terrell. Honestly, Trayvon Diggs and a little bit more is not that bad of a deal. Because in Madden, the gap between them is very minuscule. I would almost rather a ball hawk than a guy like A.J. Terrell, who isn't going to get the wow interceptions and still gets burnt twice in the divisional round of the playoffs. I don't get why everybody is so interested in him. Would Trayvon Diggs have sold an A.J. Terrell situation? In real life, probably. In Madden, who knows? Trayvon Diggs, I don't think, is slow. So, probably not, to be honest. The Ravens are moving it early. They've got a nice little drive going. A.J. Terrell is Trayvon Diggs, but more burnt and less of a bullhawk. If they're both going to get burnt, give me the bullhawk. You said, yeah, but everybody else appears to be interested. There's at least 4 people who are saying yes, and I know Cobra for a fact would be interested. So that's at least like 5 people who want him. Third and 8. Can the Ravens get another conversion? He's going to throw it to Zeke. He's not going to throw it to Zeke. He gets it to, I think that's Olave, who is just short. 4th and inches at the 6. You have Ezekiel Elliott. I think they should go for it. Do I think they will? No, I don't. Yeah. Your deal is the most convenient. Well, it depends on the other stuff you'd be offering. But put it this way. I like where we're starting with the 2 1s. So now the Beats have it back. Their first offensive drive was a whole lot of nothing. Agba for AJ. I like the sound of that. I'll give you the end pass for AJ. You know, that's an intriguing offer, but I prefer Emmanuel Agba just a little bit. Nice sack for Kayvon Thibodeau. This man pulls 2 1s for Terrell. I mean, 2 1s is nice, but Emmanuel Agba, who broke the sack record last year, is also pretty nice. I don't know how good he would be at defensive tackle, though. I do not want Dak. I mean, Dak was good last year. But, no, I would not be looking for a quarterback. Although the bag of peanuts sounds pretty intriguing. A Chuck E. Cheese gift card. I like that. I like that a lot. That might be the new leader. Who won the Giants-Vikings game? EA found the stupidest way possible to win it for the Giants. So they are now in the NFC Championship. Nate Lamb is good. Nate Lamb is good, but Emmanuel Agba is a little bit better. And even if we trade Terrell, we still have 2 good outside corners, and I could probably pretty easily find a third. Trying to give up the best pass rusher of the OFL for a guy who just lost his virginity, taken away by Darnell Mooney. Look, I'm not complaining. Nice play by the defense. The Chuck E. Cheese gift card is all you. How much is on the gift card? That's the question. How did the Giants win? So on 3rd down in overtime, the Vikings deflected a pass, but it bounced into the hands of Saquon Barkley, who scored a touchdown to win the game. Did he not catch that? I don't think it was right in Olave's hands. Fred Warner, Mike Evans, Chase Young, 3 1s and 4 2s for Terrell. That sounds pretty good. But not as good as a $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card. So, you can do a lot with that gift card. You could win some pretty cool prizes. Give me $100 or $1,000. I just use it all in the Papa Shot machine. I break all the records, and I would get a lot of tickets. So, I could get something pretty good. The bag of peanuts also sounds pretty nice. But $1,000 of Chuck E. Cheese, $10,000 Blockbuster card. Yeah, that'd be fun in like 2007. Sure. First quarter in the books, the Ravens lead 3-0. Just like Baltimore's first playoff game, a lot of defense. A $20 gift card at 5. Only 20? I'm being offered an $1,000 gift card, and then you come in here with 20? I would choose a $5 Chuck E. Cheese gift card over the $20 Five Guys card. Buy me I don't want to go to Arizona. It's already like 95 degrees here. Why would I want to go there? That was a nice throw. $300 million mansion. Only if there's a Chuck E. Cheese inside. That's the only way I would do that. $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift. I mean, I only really care about the gift card, but sure, 10 bags of peanuts sounds good. It's enough to buy me a cheeseburger and a regular fry. Yeah, I'm picking the $5 Chuck E. Cheese gift card. 10 times out of 10. Favorite sunflower seed favor. I'm not a sunflower seed guy. So, I guess none is probably my answer. Elon Musk's bank account. And a $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card, 20 bags of peanuts. As long as I get the gift card, I don't really care. Favorite gum? I'm not a gum guy either. I'll give you the moon for a golf ball. Is there a Chuck E. Cheese gift card included? Good throw, even with the defender in the zone. Caught by, I think that's Jahan Dotson. Always hate myself for peaking too early, and I'll probably never make the playoffs because, once again, EA hates your guts. Well, I do have some good news for you, Cobra. I know you like AJ Terrell, and he is available for trade. So if you want him, the best offer so far involves an $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card. Since you like me, could you give me AJ Terrell? Who said I liked you? I'm kidding, but you're not offering an $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card. So I'm just trying to get the bang for my buck here. Maybe it was a good thing we lost a playoff game. It's worth it to have a $1,000 gift card for Chuck E. Cheese. Give me that over a playoff win, especially because we probably weren't going to win the Ofl Bowl anyway. Overall, before I do anything preposterous, he's probably in the high 80s. I don't know, 87, 88, 89, maybe a low 90s, but somewhere in that ballpark. And obviously he's quite young, 26-ish at this point. I don't know exactly, but somewhere around there. $1,001 Chuck E. Cheese gift card and a $20 five. I mean, I don't even care about the Five Guys gift card. I just want as much Chuck E. Cheese money as I can. 1 week with Autumn Falls for Terrell. I'm not no simp. I would rather the gift card. My biggest needs are probably O-line, linebacker, I might want another corner. Obviously, he wouldn't be as good. And then maybe another receiver. 50 pesos. How much is that in, like, American money? $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card and a whole Chuck E. So I'm the only one in there? That sounds pretty good. And a bazillion-dollar Chuck E. Cheese gift card and the moon. Can we put the Chuck E. Cheese on the moon? And I get to play the games on the moon? My main need is a Chuck E. Cheese gift card, yes. That's the number one need. If you're not offering that, then you're not getting AJ Terrell. 20 pesos is $1 US. Oh, so that's $1,000. A $10,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card and a get-out-of-jail-free card so you can do something to Rob Manfred. Of all the people to do something to, Rob Manfred's probably pretty high on the list. Odafe and like 4 picks. It depends on the picks. And the Chuck E. Cheese gift card that would have to be included. Nice touchdown for Zeke. It's now 10-0. Not quite as hot of a start for the Beats as they had last week. 50 pesos is like $2, but with 50 pesos you can buy AirPods. They're not real. Then why would I buy them? To flex? I already had them. I don't need fake ones if I already have real ones. Although I don't think one of mine works, but still. One real one is better than none. Bill Gates' bank account. Can I get a Chuck E. Cheese gift card with that? Do you accept my offer? The one with the gift card and the moon? That's probably in the lead. I'll let you gate Bill Date's daughter. I said it on purposely that time. Is she a fan of Chuck E. Cheese? Because that's now a deal breaker. A $50,000 peso Chuck E. Cheese gift card. Well, Denmark offered me like a bazillion-dollar gift card, so that's probably a little bit better. Nice sack by somebody for the Ravens. If the Beats don't get this, they are in a little bit of trouble. They started with the ball, keep in mind. They're down 10-0. They're running it. And the Ravens get to call another timeout. I'll give you leg extensions to make you 6'3". That's an intriguing option. Can I have an extra 5-6 inches to my vertical, too? Why do I like Chuck E. Cheese so much? Why not? If you can get a $1,000 plus Chuck E. Cheese gift card, that sounds pretty good. Roquan Smith's holding out? Yeah, people will think the Bears are better than us. They don't look too smart right now, do they? So I want a hot dog, wink wink, enlargement to have fun with. No, I'm not a simp. I want the gift card. I thought that was intercepted for a second. Because I couldn't tell who caught it, and he was coming back as if it was a defensive player. But no, it's the Ravens. Give you a ticket to spend a year as Aiden Hutchinson's roommate. So we're living in the stadium? That doesn't sound comfortable. Another nice throw. Dan is launching darts. Jonah Williams is hurt, though. So Octi is into criminals and Chuck E. Cheese. I do not like how this is going. Can I bring my OFL team to Chuck E. Cheese? There may need to be a few cops on duty because, you know, there are some interesting characters on my roster. But leg extensions, vertical extensions, and a $100,000 Chuck E. Cheese ticket. I like that. So that way I can dunk. And I can get Chuck E. Cheese. Give you a chance to change your PS4 name just so... I think I had the option to change it for a while. I've just been too lazy and never have bothered to do it. And I think it said, like, there's a chance something could happen to, like... I don't know exactly, but it sounded like I shouldn't do it. So that's why I've just never bothered to change it. If O.J. Simpson isn't on your roster, Octi is a fraud. Put it this way, if O.J. Simpson was available, I would give him the max. And I would give him a pair of gloves. Don't need vert extensions, just do stretches and plyometrics. Put it this way, I'm 5'9" and I'm white. I'm not that close to dunking. I don't think exercise is going to increase my vertical by a good foot. Maybe it could, but I wouldn't count on it. He is a midget, so he needs it. 3-score game. It is a 3-score game. We'll see what happens with the Beats here on this drive. If they don't do anything, then we'll sim to start the second half. Since we're watching 4 games, I'm going to be a little bit more willing to sim anyway. So maybe if the Beats score a field goal, we may still sim to start the second half. Jordan Kilganon is white, and he can jump. Well, not every white person can jump. He can jump. I'm 5'11", but I jump like an NBA player. So you can dunk. Can we just watch the Huskies now? We'll see where he has to pick your game still. We could still watch the other game first. There's Bijan Robinson to the 46. Back to Bijan. Yeah, they should score a field goal here. But if it's a 14-point game with the Ravens starting with the ball in the second half, we might as well start the sim. You want to take your team to Chuck E. Cheese like someone isn't on your team didn't have this thingy out near a daycare? No, Malik McDowell, I think, is on the Giants. So, we don't have to worry about him. He's not on our team. Imagine. They have 16 seconds and no timeouts. This seems like prone Madden clock management. Oh, they're just going to kick. Honestly, this isn't the worst call because knowing Madden, they would find a way to mess up the clock and not let the Beats score. So I don't think that's the worst call. If you had a real coaching staff who knew how to run a clock, then that would probably be a bad play call. But with Madden, I don't think it's a horrible decision to kick. Imagine if the Vikings and Giants was in a Chuck E. Cheese. Put it this way, A.J. Terrell played like the average Chuck E. Cheese member. So, that part is true. Yeah, the Ravens should just run out the clock. Zeke has not even, he barely has 2 yards to carry. The Beats have stopped him, yet they're down by 14. So we'll start the second half semi. If the Beats make it a game, we will hop back in. So the Ravens start with the ball. They're throwing it well early. Their offense is marching down the field. They're struggling here. 3rd down, incomplete. They should still kick a field goal. They do. He got drunk at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, A.J. Terrell was drunk at a Chuck E. Cheese moments before the game. That's why it was bad. 15-yard penalty against Isaiah Simmons. They score a touchdown. They have it within 10. We'll keep simming for a little bit longer. Ravens punt, Beats have it back. If the Beats score, we'll contemplate hopping back in, which they actually might. It's a 3-point game. We should probably hop back in now. So the Beats have cut it within 3. They're kind of back in the game. They haven't shown us anything and watched to suggest that they can come back and win, but they're back in the game. So, we're going to hop back in and see if the Ravens can still hold on here. Okay, we don't need to see these replays, EA. We know Dan is good. The Beats have only ran it 6 times. They're kind of like the Vikings, at least at the start, where they didn't even try to run the ball. Doesn't seem like Zeke has done a whole lot better since entering the sim. He's still having a rough day. Welcome to Guess That NBA Player. I'm light-skinned, I'm around 6'8", play point guard, and bang 40-year-old women. Sounds a lot like Ben Simmons, although Ben Simmons is more like 6'10". But other than that, that sounds a lot like him. First to guess it gets a free gift card to a massage parlor. I just had to look outside. I hope I don't find Deshaun Watson nearby. That'd be bad. Third quarter in the books. The Beats are back in it, but they've still got some work to do. The Ravens are ahead 20-17. They have to start the punt, though. So now the Beats can take the lead. I cannot remember the last time we've simmed a game, and the team that was losing came back and won. It's not Simmons. What other 6'8" light-skinned point guard is there? I mean, Dyson Daniels is a 6'8" light-skinned point guard, but I don't think it's him. Oh, it's LaMelo! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's who it is. He's around 6'8", plays point guard, and he definitely has done it with older women before. Cade is only 6'6", and I don't think he's into older women. Deshaun Watson does not take no as an answer. That is true. Did you see Tyreek Hill? I heard a quote. I didn't see him on the show, but I heard a quote earlier this morning of why he picked Miami over New York. And he said that Zach Wilson is a dog. Yep, that's true. But Tua's the most accurate quarterback in the league. That's what he said. Cade is listed at 6'6" on all of our rosters and whatnot. So, everywhere I've seen is listed at 6'6". Remember when everyone thought Octi was black? I don't think that was ever a thing. No, I don't remember this. The Ravens' defense gets a stop, so the Beats' offense still does nothing. He's high as a kite if he thinks Tua's the most accurate passer in the league. You're not wrong. He's been a little bit too complimentary of Tua in the offseason. Simcast now, it's a 3-point game in the playoffs. No. I don't think I'm going to do that. Good run by Zeke, finally. Octi is the whitest person you know. I mean, you're not, like, that wrong. Literally always heard, I never talk, and I have claw hands. You are the real street clothes, Kawhi. He's more street clothes than Anthony Davis is, although both of them are street clothes. Yeah, but they got the first. Yeah, but there's still 6 minutes left. It's not like the game is almost over. There's still a lot of time. Justin Ross out for the year. That's not really a surprise. Was he ever cleared to begin with? That whole injury situation with him just seemed like a mess to begin with. If this is a new injury, then that really sucks. But if it's an old injury, I mean, it still sucks, obviously. I still feel bad for him regardless. But it probably has to do with the same injury. But if it's a new injury, then that's really bad luck. Although, he probably has bad luck regardless. Because that, what was it, like a spinal injury? Or a neck injury? That's real bad. And he was going to be such a stud, too. He was arguably Clemson's best receiver as a freshman, and that team had guys like T. Higgins. They might add Hunter Renfrow, too. It was a foot injury. That's definitely not the same injury of why he didn't get picked. Or maybe that had to do with it. So he's had a foot issue and, like, a neck issue? That's pretty unlucky. Yeah, Ross had foot surgery recently, so it's about his foot, not his spine. It might have been a heart. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had to do with, like, something important. Second and 9. DeForest Buckner got hurt on the last play. Oh! That's kind of a big deal for the Ravens. They're going to need their other pass rushers to step up, who couldn't that play, as the Beats get the first down to the 50. Winner of this game will either host Orlando or head to Kansas City for the AFC Championship. And the Beats want that to be them. Another big play to the 17. Imagine if the NCAA allowed players to declare after their freshman year. I think that'd be a kind of a bad idea because there are a lot of freshmen who probably wouldn't be ready for the NFL. And it would also be more of the crapshoot. You'd see more busts at the top because draft boards would look a lot different. You have a better chance figuring out who's good within 3 years instead of 1. Pay to see freshman Bo Nix get absolutely manhandled by Aaron Donald. Would Bo Nix have even been a real draft prospect, though? Don't worry, Deshaun Watson was at the Browns training camp. Oh, I wasn't worried about that. Third and 3 at the 9, 2.5 to go. Biggest play of the game. It's Bijan Robinson. Did he get it? Yeah, he did. That was close. Wrapped up by B-Wags. Imagine JT Barrett declaring after his Heisman-like season in 2014. I wonder if he would have been a real pro prospect. Future Lions legend. AJ Terrell should be traded to me. Then give me an offer. I'm willing to trade him to whoever gives the best offer. Which apparently there are some good ones on the table. I hope you guys like choking divisional round playoff games because you're getting that with him. Third and goal at the 5. Can the Beats take the lead? Burrow has all day to throw it, but can't find anybody open, so he's eventually going to be sacked by Will Anderson Jr. So the Beats will not take the lead. They're only going to be able to settle for the field goal, and it's now 20-20. Would you take $4 million to take a hit from Donald, but you have no pads, you can't brace yourself, and you can't even move? If Aaron Donald was trying to kill me, no, I don't think I would do that. Will you still do a relocation franchise despite the amount of pushback? What I've always done with like polls and stuff is I never pick just based off the poll. So just because expansion is winning doesn't mean I'm going to pick it. And obviously the backlash of that being a possibility is certainly something I'm going to take into account. And I always wanted to keep expansion like the back of my mind. But I never really considered it being that great of an option until I like thought about how it would work the other night, and I came up with some good ideas. I think I would make it a lot of fun, but obviously I want to do something that people want to see, and I also want to do something that I'll have fun with and something that can grow the channel. Those are like the 3 criterias that I'm looking for. So the poll helps influence that, but the poll never makes my decision for me. Which team have you been eyeing up? I'm not going to say that. You'll find out soon enough. Whether I pick them or not, I'll say who it was, but I'm not going to say it now. Imagine Terrell Pryor didn't declare into the NFL supplemental draft for taking improper benefits. Why did he get drafted later because of that? I mean, he was only taking money. There goes Zeke! Look at the clock. There's only 30 seconds left. The Ravens should not mess this up. They're in field goal range. They should be fine. Just tell us. No, I'm not saying anything. We're keeping the surprise until the end. I mean, the team reveal is going to be within the next, 2 weeks, so you're going to know soon enough. Why can't you just do the Falcons? Because the other teams were slightly more interesting for me. I'm sure Atlanta would have been fun, but 20 seconds and 1 timeout. They should run it here or score. Okay, I was going to talk about a scenario where they kick a field goal, but sure, that works. He just DM me who it is, totally. So Ezekiel Elliott takes the lead with 17 seconds. You know what happened in the last game? When the Vikings were chewing clock, Najee Harris scored a touchdown to take a 7-point lead. The Vikings lost. So I'm just saying, maybe Najee shouldn't have scored. What is good, Giddy? What has happened so far? A lot has happened so far. This is the second game today. The first one was the Vikings and the Giants, and AJ Terrell for the Vikings absolutely sold. So now the Vikings are eliminated. Octi just GM'd me the team. Okay, who is the team then? Yeah, it was a little bit different because we scored with over a minute, and the Beats are going to have 14 seconds. So the Beats have a lot less of a chance here than the Giants did, but they still have a chance. Bakker knows a thing or two about Hail Marys in the playoffs. I'm just saying. The Beats heave up the Hail Mary. It's incomplete. It's the Titans. Interesting. Maybe the team is the Titans. Maybe it isn't. Octi wants the Packers. Totally. Browns no matter what. Last play of the game. What? Why would they do that? I think the strategy was to go short and then have a bunch of laterals, but in the OFL, that's never been done. Hail Marys have been done. So that seems like a questionable call from the Beats offense. But there you go. The Ravens win. They're moving on to the AFC Championship game, narrowly defeating the Beats 27-20. Bakker's completed Hail Marys with this team. He's completed it in the divisional round of the playoffs before. So I don't know why that wasn't the call, but there you go. Ravens are moving on. Dan was pretty good. Joe Burrow was also pretty good. Zeke, 2 touchdowns. He played a lot better as the game went along. Should you have had a 2025 first from the Giants? Did you ever trade for that pick? I don't know if you did. I would have to check which trade it was, but yeah. All right, Game 3. Will it be the Chiefs and the Wizards, or will it be the Saints and the Huskies? The 2 1 seeds. We have not seen either of them yet in the playoffs. Octi is selecting the unknown 6th option is the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. This game is 1. This game is 2. Siri, hold on. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. So we got the Chiefs and the Wizards. I'll check Buckner. I'll check the depth chart for the quarterback for Toronto. Is E.J. Williams a top wide receiver prospect? I haven't seen him in like the very top with guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jordan Addison, Kayshon Butte. But I guess if he plays well, who knows? We want the Ravens. He's not there. He's good. As soon as I get Terrell, my team will be unstoppable. Well, do you have a $1,000 Chuck E. Cheese gift card? Because that seems to be the starter. And then I'll probably want other stuff. Yep, you're all good. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. That's not what I want. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2, please. 2. All right, that's the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure Dan Dutton is still here, so he can pick the Wizards jerseys. We can pick for the Chiefs. Do we want these last 2 games to be Blizzards? Why not? Let's do it. Octi secretly has love for the Falcons as a secret 7th option as well. Put it this way, I've never picked a team that hasn't been on the poll, so I wouldn't count on it. A 3 get-out-of-jail 3 card to do anything you want to Aaron Rodgers or Rob Manfred. That sounds pretty nice. Dark purple. Boom. Yeah, that's right. The Chiefs don't have any purple jerseys, so we can pick pretty much anything we want. Do we want to wear red, white, all white? They don't really have any other choices. They don't have many jersey combos. We could do one with Texas on their helmet, even though they're from Kansas City. All white, all white. Do we like all white? Going once, going twice. Hey, that rhymed, kind of. All right, dark white it is. So now we've got the 3rd game of the day. It is a blizzard here in Kansas City, Missouri, as the Chiefs face off against the Orlando Wizards. The Chiefs have quietly been the sleeping giant in the AFC, making the #1 seed this year. But they've got the Ravens marching on the doorstep in the AFC Championship game. They've got the Wizards here, who had an improbable win over the Pioneers in the first round of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen 2.0. Hopefully it's as good as the NFL version of the game. Snow in a Madden playoff game. Would have never guessed. Yeah, at this point we're just picking which games we have snow for. It looks more like rainy type of snow. On the ground, it looks wet. So that's more like slush than snow. Which, I feel like playing in slush would be fun. White jerseys don't look good in the selection game. In the selection screen, but in-game they look sick. Hopefully they look fine in the snow. It's not all white on the ground, so I think we'll be fine. If I make a BBGM, what is that? So it's gross snow. It's like fun snow. Can I show 2026? But I'll update all the 2026 picks in the roster video for the offseason. Playing in slush is not fun. I don't know. I think it could be pretty fun for an NFL playoff game. Or an OFL playoff game. Although a lot of the ground doesn't look that snowy. Say the Falcons have some of the best jersey combos. The Falcons have some of the best jersey combos. Online franchise with the Jets and Madden 23. They seem like a fun team. The Jets are a fun team. I've been saying for a couple months, my bold prediction is that the Jets make the playoffs. Even before the Zach Wilson banging your mom news. Oh, what a catch at the 13! A beauty from Josh Allen over to Michael Gallup. They didn't get the first down, Simcast. Well, they just got it there. Check DMs. That won't be happening. What? Zach Wilson's got that dog in him. Third and 3. I think he's in. He is. The Chiefs scored first with a touchdown from O.J. Howard. That's a freezing cold take. No pun intended. So the Chiefs drive down the field. They score. They're on the board first, 7-0. The dog in Zach Wilson is a wiener dog. I don't think wiener dogs bang 40-year-old cougars. Notice how this is Mahomes and Hill's former stomping grounds. These two know how to win here. They won last week, even though Tyreek Hill didn't do anything. It was the Van Jefferson and Kadarius Toney show. Former Mahomes hasn't been achieved. Tactically, you're not wrong. And that's a pretty good start for Mahomes in his first time here playing in Kansas City. As he gets it over to Jaden Jackson for a gain of 31. So far, you're 0-2 in playoff predictions. Oh, boy. Has a punt ever went into the crowd? Not that I know of, but, you know, honestly, that wouldn't surprise me if it's happened. Although that'd be pretty hard to do. What 2026 picks? I don't know off the top of my head. I guess if you check through some of the trades you make, you could probably figure it out. And if you haven't traded any of your 2026 picks, that means you just own all your own picks. Are awards out yet? Not yet. I'm going to get to that, I promise. Punt at the 1-yard line. That sounds like a perfect idea. Jesus Christ, I thought Hector was the best quarterback in the league. This Patrick Mahomes guy is pretty good, too. 3rd and 10. They got the first and more into the end zone for a touchdown. Who's 11? Tony Pollard, he wears 11? 11. What a weird number for a running back. I guess I did give Rosemont St. Clair number 10, so I guess I can't really argue with it, but okay. If you punt and it goes between the goalposts, is that a field goal? It honestly should be. That'd be fun, but no. So both teams started off with quick touchdowns. We might have ourselves an offensive slugfest here in the slush. Big hit for Ivory. Isn't Marlon Mack hurt? So they got this guy at running back instead. Yeah, Marlon Mack and Savell Smalls, one of their pass rushers who had like 14 sacks this year. If a punt is going through the goalpost to field goal, then no one would ever kick it. Maybe what if he made that like 1 point? Kickoffs and punts that go through the goalpost are 1 point. I said slugfest, silly. What overall does Matt Ariza have? I actually don't know. That's a good question. Should be like an 85, if I'm being honest. Another good run for Ivory. He's not too bad, clearly. Okay, I'm looking for Matt Ariza now. He's not... He's a 74. That feels a little low. He does have 83 speed. I wonder if they gave him a dev. They gave Braden Mann a dev a couple years back. He should probably have one too. First and 10. Olanua loses about 4. Wrapped on the play by Xavier Woods. Said that you're too fast. Yeah, that's not the only thing you're too fast for. Wink, wink. I would defend you, but you lost to me with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. You make Jacoby Brissett out to be so good, though. Oh, what a broken tackle! The Chiefs are back ahead. You guys were saying Mules hasn't done anything to this team to be a 1 seed, but... He did clearly enough early in the year to turn them into a 1 seed, and they're looking good. So now it's 14-7. I think this is more points that was scored in the entire Wizards-Tigers game in the first round. But we're going against Jacoby Brissett, Mr. DJ Ugala. Yeah, Mr. DJ Ugala. Ooga booga. Alright, the Wizards have it back. The Wizards... Did I say Wizards? I meant the Ravens and the Tigers. That's who I meant. I might have said Wizards. Jacoby was good for 2 games, so he wouldn't be that scared if Hector got injured. I mean, that'd be a big deal if you lost your MVP candidate quarterback. But Jacoby Brissett is fine enough. Your fiance left you. Jacoby Brissett left you? Slow start to the drive here for the Wizards. They know their offense is going to have to keep up because the Chiefs are looking pretty good on that side of the ball. 3rd and 4. They got it. 6 for 9, 96 yards. Nice. The stream died out. Did it die out for everybody? It looks fine on my end. Are you inviting the OFL coaches to your wedding? I mean, I'm not that far away from Denmark, but everybody else is. Although I don't know Denmark, so that'd probably be a little bit weird if I crashed his wedding. First quarter in the books. The Chiefs lead 14-7. I was a little bit skeptical of the Chiefs, but so far, at least offensively, they look like the real deal. Another play for Tyreek Hill. They're getting him more involved now than they did last week against the Pioneers, which is smart. Not that far away from Pennsylvania either. I'm pretty sure Arizona's kind of far. Just saying. Nice run for Jaden Jackson. Where does Jalen Hurts play? He is the backup quarterback for the Bison. He's Jeff Sims' backup. Certain times of year, I mean, Kentucky's not that close. I mean, it's not as far as Arizona, but I don't know if I would say Kentucky's close. Where's Stafford? He was on the Wizards. Now he's on the Beats. He's Joe Burrow's backup. Ryan Tannehill, yeah, he started as the Bison's quarterback. Then they got Jeff Sims. They traded for Jalen Hurts as a backup. Excited for Wednesday, smoking that Casey pack again once they get last place. Hell yeah. Pack watch in the air. 3rd and 4. Mahomes on the run. Risky throw is incomplete, so they'll still score a field goal. Did a trade with the Giants, and you got their 2025 first. Let me check. You should have it, the pick, if that's a trade you made. Yeah, that does say 2025 first round pick. So unless you traded it later, which it doesn't look like you did, then you should have that pick. Do I live near Hazleton? Do I? That name seems very vague to me. I feel like... Okay, no, not really. That's not that close. Oh, but wait, what just happened? Did they fake it? Why do only good things happen when I'm not looking? So they faked the field goal and got the touchdown. Let me go back into stream real quick. How did they do that? Yeah, they're going for a normal field goal on 4th and 4. The quarterback pitched it to the outside, he got the first, and then they scored the next play. Now I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. But apparently I'm also disappointing. Because whenever I look away, something good happens. So now we're tied. Somehow, some way. 14 apiece. 2 drives for both offenses, 2 touchdowns. The Wizards did it unconventionally, but you know what? It works. The Chiefs' offense has been a little bit more conventional. Their offense has just been straight dominant since the start, and they're not showing signs of slowing down. Am I near Williamsport? No. That's like north. Yeah, that's like super north, so no, I'm not very nearby. Wish we could just fast forward streams to my games. Well, unfortunately, life isn't always fair. He lives in the hood. Yeah, totally. Third and 10. Can we finally get a defensive stop halfway through the second quarter? No, we don't. You're near Lancaster. Kind of. Not that nearby. I don't know if I would say near it in comparison to other places, but it's closer than the other two spots you said. There's a place in Arizona called Harambe. Why would they do that in Arizona? They should have done that in Ohio to represent our Lord and Savior, Harambe. Octi lives in Midland. Is that a real place? Oh, it is a real place. Oh, it's in the west, though. That's like near Pittsburgh, according to Google Maps. No wonder it's near Pittsburgh, because everything in Pittsburgh is mid. Third and 4, they convert again. Defense, never heard of her. Norristown, yeah, more sort of over there. That's a lot closer. Nice touchdown for the Chiefs. Michael Gallup with the play. He's had a couple nice plays today, so now it's 21-14. Would you rather live in Philadelphia or what? Pennsylvania? Huh? Is Hector having a stroke? Do we need to, like, check on him? .221. Did they leave too much time on the clock for Mahomes? Probably. This is literally turning out exactly like Mahomes and Allen last year. But Mahomes gets sacked on the first play of the drive by Fletcher Cox. You don't know how to spell it. Clearly, everything about your sentence there was wrong. Second and 18, Mahomes launches a prayer, not even close. Tyreek Hill burns him like toast. Is A.J. Terrell on the Chiefs too now? Although in that corner's defense, he had to cover Tyreek Hill, and A.J. Terrell did not. But still, doesn't Cobra live 2 streets from you? No, doesn't Cobra live in, like, Georgia? That's, like, not close. I heard that throw. Mahomes to Hill against the Chiefs. Karma's one side of the gun. Yes, it is. So now it's 21-21. Now the question is, did Josh Allen get too much time? Mahomes needed only a little bit more than 12 seconds. Is there going to be an OFL Fantasy Football League? I'm probably going to do another Fantasy Football League this year. I'm going to try to make sure, like, actual active people are in. Because especially with all the new people we're probably going to get in the community within the next month or so with Madden coming out. It's easy to get non-active people. And there's also going to be a lot more than 12 people who probably want to do it. So I'm probably going to have to set up a few leagues. Oh, fumble! And it's picked up by the Wizards. I was thinking maybe we might do like a Dynasty League this year. Along with like normal ones as well. But I'll probably set those up when we get closer. They did not review the play. Wow, that's a big-time turnover. And then Mahomes on the very next play heaves it deep again for Tyreek Hill, who drops it. He was probably out anyway. What's a dynasty league? A dynasty league is where you draft a team and you keep those players for like multiple years. We could also do a keeper league where we do a fantasy football season, then we redraft, but we're allowed to protect a certain amount of players. So let's say I draft, I don't know, Justin Jefferson. And obviously if I have him, he's going to be a really good player for the next decade, so I would want to hold on to him. So I can protect him from being drafted in the next year. And obviously every team would be able to protect the same amount of players. So we could do a keeper league, we could do a dynasty league, and I'll have multiple regular leagues set up as well. But I'd probably want to do a keeper league or a dynasty league with people who I like or know are going to do it. So I probably would try to set that up before the influx of people come through Madden 23. So like an expand, yeah, pretty much. Although you'd probably protect less people than you would for an expansion draft. Like an expansion draft, you'd protect pretty much every key piece of your roster. But here, I mean, I don't know how most players do, but like, I don't know, you protect 5 or 6 people. Wow, they got stopped on 4th down. Doesn't a player you keep to stay in that draft spot? So if you draft Jefferson in the 3rd round and keep him, he's my 3rd round pick. I never knew that. Is that true? I'm not like some fantasy football expert. I've never really done dynasty and keeper leagues before, so I don't know that for a fact. You might be right. If that's the case, then that kind of changes some things. Was he in bounds? He was! This is offense galore. This is like the Tigers and Broncos game from the first playoffs. This is more harder to comprehend than Madden mobile leagues. This isn't that hard to comprehend if we do it good. They added defensive players. I kind of wanted to try a league with defensive players just to like see how that would go, because I've never done that either. That would be interesting. But yeah, if I want to do a dynasty or keeper league, I'll probably set that up within the next week or two, just so we can get ahead of the ball with that. Although I don't think the ESPN fantasy app is best for dynasty, from what I know, because I usually use ESPN. But I think maybe like the Sleeper app would be better. I used the Sleeper one last year, and I thought it was fine. As the Chiefs regain the lead, another touchdown, 28-21 in the first half. I'd love to add to my 10 leagues. That's a diehard right there. Yahoo. I don't think I've ever used Yahoo. I mean, if it's a good fantasy service, then I'm good with using it. $29 seconds. Is that too much time for Mahomes? We really picked this. We're still watching the Saints and the Huskies game. Siri picked us to start with this game. What is this game out of 10? Probably in honor of all the points, like 100. I have to pick a big number for the big offense. Is 26 seconds and 2 timeouts. I only run fantasy leagues through OnlyFans. Mr. Rob knows how to do it, folks. We might have to do that. Yeah, I'm thinking 26 seconds was too much. 26 seconds is too much, not just for Mahomes, but also for the average OnlyFans user. Stop paying attention to the baseball league because all my players got hurt. At least you're not in last place, though. Pain. That's because I drafted too many Tigers players. Tried NBA Fantasy and Scotty Barnes single. That's a weird player to carry. I mean, Scotty Barnes was good last year, but like, okay, they're already going to take the points. Interesting. Can you say if you would approve them before doing them? Well, obviously they have to do well enough in the vote, but I can let you know if it's like a fleece or not. 28-24. The Wizards start with the ball in the second half. Who's going to win this game? I could not tell you because both of these teams are on fire. What if in the second half there's like no offense? That'd be funny. That's Ivory's 3rd carry of the game. The Chiefs aren't even trying to run the ball. Neither of these teams are trying to run the ball, and it's working. There's no reason to run the ball if Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are just going to dot up the secondaries the whole time. The Wizards have 224 passing yards. The Chiefs have 282. We're in halftime. Drafted Ron Big Philly 3-agent signing. Yeah, you should have drafted Derek Hall. That's who you messed up with. 7 seconds would have been too much if they had passed it there. You're probably right with this team. They would have given the Wizards too much time to score. So the Wizards have it back. They're losing, but their offense has certainly shown that they are good. Simcast, the Chiefs are winning by a lot. How about no? Now they're trying to run the ball. That's an interesting strategy that they're now starting to do it. 3rd and 3, Mahomes is in the zone. That's the edge Mahomes has over Allen, because I don't think Allen has X Factor. And they do convert. Does Hector not remind you of MVP Matt Ryan? I feel like that's almost an insult, because MVP Matt Ryan was lucky because he had Shanahan. Not to discredit what Ryan did that year, but I would almost argue that's an insult. And obviously, you know, Matt Ryan blew the Super Bowl that year and all that. Chiefs get nothing there. Van Jefferson only has 2 catches. The Wizards' offense is dominating, and they have the best receiver in the league, but he only has 2 catches. That might be number 3. I think that is Van Jefferson again. No, that's Kadarius Toney. What about MVP Peyton? No, MVP Peyton was a little bit too good. MVP, at least his Broncos MVP. That was one of the most impressive years for a quarterback easily in the past decade. Albeit he also had Hall of Fame level players with him, but still. No one's talking anymore. No one said anything other than you in the past minute. That's like not a lot. So, that's not... There's still 12 other people. I don't think we're alone, but... Although, since we are alone, wink, wink, what do you say? No, we're not going to go there. Joe Burrow. I think Hector's season this year is better than Burrow's ever done, but in the sense of they're both young, they're both good, and they both carry a swaggy aura about them. In that case, yeah, I can kind of see it. As the Wizards are... Is this the first time the Wizards have led the entire game? I think so. Oh, Joe Burrow's college season, yeah, that was unbelievably impressive. But in terms of the NFL, Peyton's MVP season is probably the most impressive of the last decade. But if you throw college in there, then yeah, Burrow's Heisman season is probably the top of that list. 31-28, can the Chiefs get it back going? They've scored on every drive except for the one they fumbled it. So they haven't had a drive stall out yet. I don't think either team has punted yet today. It may very well be whoever has the ball last. Blockers League, you have Russ, Etienne, Cook, Dalvin Cook, or James Cook. Devontae Hopkins, Moore, Donald, and Watt. And Ramsey. And did you just draft all the really good defensive players? How does defensive scoring work? Lamar, Heisman, or Burrow? Definitely Burrow. Burrow's Heisman is easily number 1. I think Lamar's Heisman is honestly kind of underrated over the last 5 to 10 years. I think that's one doesn't really get enough respect, but that's his Heisman season was not as good as Burrow's. Dalvin Cook, okay. I would hope so, because none of those other guys look like first-round fantasy draft picks. Hector Heisman or Lamar Heisman? Didn't Hector throw for like 6,000? So it's probably Hector. I asked Ofl if he botted subs, and he yeah, because I went to bed last night, kid. The draft was only defense rookies and people not on the team. So those guys were like already on the roster. Now it is a 2nd and 10. Call me Kid again. Okay, Kid. Want to talk about that take? We don't have to say from a DC. We can call him by name. We can say Jack Del Rio because it was obviously him. Oh, what a move by Howard. I'm getting canceled in the council chat because they want to pixelate a punter. Honestly, I don't see that as a cancelable offense. I'm with you. I have no issue with pixelating a punter. Because I could probably get that. I'm on real life side here. Pixelate the damn punter. Okay, who is this running back and why is he good? Was that Ivory again? I don't even know this guy's first name and he's steamrolling. Oh, they want to pixelate the punter. Oh, yes, then I'm on their side. Never mind. I read it wrong. Yeah, I'm with them. Pixelate the damn punter. I thought real life said at first that he wanted to. I read it wrong. Yeah, then I'm on your side. Pixelate the punter. I don't think Chris Ivory's in the game. I don't think he's been in the game in like 5 years. Although he was a power back, and that move looked like a power move. It's your idea. Well, Denmark knows ball. That could have been picked. Josh Allen's been more efficient than Mahomes. Mahomes has missed more throws today, and it hasn't really mattered because Mahomes has still made throws when he's needed to. But on early downs, he's missed more passes than Allen has. But then it doesn't matter when you have Tyreek Hill on your team who can just burn everybody. Another ridiculously long touchdown for Tyreek Hill. He did nothing in the wild card round because he wanted to save it all for today. So, I don't blame him. And now it's 38-35. This game is nuts. What does pixelate a punter mean? So I imagine they're doing the pixelating challenge where you pixelate an athlete and we got to guess it. And they want to pixelate a punter, which I think is a good idea because I probably know more about punters than most of the other tribes. So, what's the score at the end going to be? Yeah, really. We're going to see these teams in like the 50s. We have been treated to some very good games, even though my team choked, which I'm still not pleased about. But the divisional round has gotten us some good football this year. Just like in real life, where every NFL playoff game was wildly exciting. Second and inches. Incomplete. This is the game. I don't even know if this beats the Wizards and Pioneers because that game there was just so much changing. Whereas this game, it's just offense scores, and it's still fun to see a shootout like this. But I think the Wizards' first playoff game was just more like pure exciting. If I could meet Greg Dortch or Javon Carter, who would you pick? I would rather just not waste my time. That's what I would pick. With all due respect. It's not even the fourth quarter. This game has been long, too, which I guess makes sense, because that's what happens when you have a bazillion big offensive plays, and both teams are playing like it's the Pro Bowl. If I were to pick Javon, I would ask him, who's the toughest Big 12 guard you've ever played against, and why is it Frank Mason? Javon would lock you up. Well, obviously, he's an NBA player. I'm not. Maybe the final play of the quarter. Nope, because it's incomplete. All I know is the Ravens' defense must be pissing themselves right now. And their offense has to be jumping for joy. So I don't know how the Ravens feel about this. If this is good or bad. We might get over 100 total points. Yeah, really, we might. This is disgraceful and evil. These teams are massacring and making young kids cry with this blood. We should have a game limit of 34 to 35 points. If a winner of the game gets to move on. Yeah, that sounds like a phenomenal idea. Third quarter in the books. So far in the second half, it's been much of the same in terms of offense. The team in the lead, however, has changed. It's now the Wizards who are up 38-35, and we started the third and 13 to open up the fourth. And the Chiefs get it. I think that's Gallup again to the 27. Yep, Michael Gallup's been a machine. Not as good as Tyreek Hill, but still pretty darn good. How long have I been watching Big 12 basketball? So I was a casual Kansas fan for probably close to a decade. I would say I've been more of a diehard, I think, since Frank Mason's senior season. So that was probably 6 years ago. That feels like it was 2 years ago, but yeah, the first year I really liked Kansas basketball was Frank Mason's senior season. Then the next year was the season we lost in the Final Four. I'm a casual anything bandwagon fan. I don't know if you can call somebody who roots for the Detroit Lions willingly a bandwagon. So the Chiefs are now winning, by the way, with the 69th touchdown of the game, or so it feels. Yeah, this literally is going to be whoever gets the ball last wins. Unless one of these defenses can make a play, which, do I think they will? Probably not. Because Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are both pretty darn good. Name an OFL legend. Go. Amari Rodgers. Good answer. Mahomes has 407 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Josh Allen is not too far behind. What does the OFL stand for? The OFL stands for the Octagonal Football League. Like this game with how many low-scoring games we've had? I agree. This has been fun. Mahomes throwing to Tyreek is literally the same way Chiefs users play. Well, Mahomes has let himself cheese here, and it has obviously worked. Because him and Tyreek have been both quite good. 3rd and 4. They're not really in field goal range. They're in 4-down territory here. But it's not going to matter because these two defenses don't know how to get a stop on 3rd down. The Wizards are getting close to the end zone. 6 minutes to go. This game could go into overtime. So then it'll be whoever wins the coin toss. What if this game goes into overtime and the Chiefs lose because of the coin toss? That'd be funny if Patrick Mahomes beats Josh Allen on a coin toss again. Holding on the offense on Jack Conklin is A.J. Terrell, the defensive coordinator for both teams. That's what it looks like. Mahomes is sacked by Jadeveon Clowney. The Chiefs have one of the best pass rushes in the league, but you wouldn't know that based on how they're playing today. They also have Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox, Savell Smalls, who's hurt. 2nd and 23, they run it. That's an odd call. And now it's a 3rd and 20. The Wizards are not in a great spot, but with how they've been on 3rd down today, they might not want to panic too much. Mahomes has time. He goes short. I was going to say, if they got that. So they should be able to kick a field goal here, bring the lead to 1. So it's not a total waste of a drive. Oh, they're going for it. I think this is a bad call. I would kick. I know the Chiefs' offense has been unstoppable, but even in a 1-point game, even if you allow a touchdown, it's still within 1 possession. What do I know? I should have just trusted both of these offenses to make it work. But I wouldn't have done that, but obviously it worked out. Tyreek Hill is like 220 yards. A.J. Terrell is defensive coordinator, and the coordinators are Eli Apple. On the very next play of the Wizards take the lead, it's Tony Pollard with the touchdown, 45-42. It's crazy that we still have another game after this. Can the Huskies game beat this and beat the first game? And there's still 4 minutes. Don't trust my defense. They've been getting cooked all game. I'd rather take the gamble. And obviously it worked out in a big way for the Wizards, who, if they had listened to me, they'd be down by 1. Instead, they're up by 3. So, props to the Wizards for choosing not to listen to me, because what do I know? Both quarterbacks have 5 touchdowns and over 400 yards. This is literally like the textbook definition of a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes playoff game. Simcast, no balls. Why would I want to do that? We're going to have a fun 5 minutes upcoming here at the end of the game. 2nd and 10. Allen off his back foot just floats it up. Incomplete, but that's going to be a DPI. So even though the Chiefs don't convert the pass, they bring it all the way to the 36. That's Cameron Dantzler, who had the big interception last week with the flag. Exactly why the Eagles have yet to win a Super Bowl. Well, they have in real life. But in the series, they have not because, you know, choking and whatnot. Under me, yeah. The answer to the question would be choking. 1st and 10, they're running it. Takeaways, they're 2nd in takeaways. So their defense should be good. Both of these defenses are pretty good. But that obviously has not really mattered. 2nd and 8. I got it again. Because Vander Wall sucks. Keep his name out your mouth. I mean, the guy made the NFC Championship, and he wasn't, if I remember correctly, he wasn't that bad in that game. If there was betting, I'd put 100K on the Saints. I got a feeling. If the Saints win, that'd be wild. A Saints-Giants NFC Championship game. Who could have guessed? 3rd and 1. Who could have guessed? A touchdown for the Chiefs. They take the lead with 1:56. Is that too much time? Probably. I think the bigger question is how much time are the Chiefs going to have with the ball? So Josh Allen has thrown 5, 6. I don't know. I've lost count. If the Wizards score a touchdown, then we will pass 100 total points. This game is probably going to be top 10 scoring all time. Let me Google that. Certainly, this has to be the highest scoring playoff game ever. I don't even think the Broncos and Tigers game from last year had this many points. That game did have like 3 touchdowns in the last minute, which wouldn't surprise me here. Oh, I thought that was intercepted for whatever reason. The highest scoring game is 113 points between the Washington name redacted and the New York Giants. It doesn't say who won, but the winning team won 72-41. Oh, they almost got that! Tyreek Hill nearly got his 3rd touchdown of the game. There have only been 4 games in NFL history with 100 points. Really? I thought it would have been way more. And then in the playoffs, the most ever is 96. This game is at 94. I'm surprised there's only been 4 NFL games of 100 points. No, there's been 5. There's been 5, not 4. But still, that's crazy. The most recent one was the Chiefs-Rams Monday night game from like 5 years ago. That was fun. I'm surprised there's only been 5 games of 100 points. I would have guessed it would have been way more. Down to a minute. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts. The Wizards are having no problems moving it down the field. Yeah, this was on 8-minute quarters. Or no, I do 9-minute quarters now. This was on 9-minute quarters. Imagine what it would have been on 15. As Tyreek Hill gets his 3rd touchdown of the game, the Wizards are now in the 50s. 51-49. Is 38 seconds too much? That's the next question. If the Chiefs were to score a touchdown, this would become the second most highest scoring game in the history of the NFL. And obviously this isn't the NFL, but you get what I'm trying to say. This is tied for the fourth highest scoring professional football game in the NFL or OFL ever. This has to be the highest scoring OFL game, right? It has to be. There's no way it isn't. Officially better than Chiefs-Bills. Probably. The game itself was better than the Chiefs-Bills, but the Chiefs-Bills was so exciting because of the ending. So we'll see what type of ending we get here. All Kansas City needs is a field goal, and they have all 3 timeouts as they use number 1. From the 45, 31 seconds left. What does Josh Allen have up his sleeve? Down the field, tipped incomplete. I do not envy either of these teams right now. I do not envy Dan because he must be scared to death that his defense is on the field with 30 seconds left. And obviously his defense hasn't been very good today. 2nd and 10. They get the first. Is he out of bounds? No, they have to call a timeout. But they are kind of in field goal range. Emmett Barton has 12 catches for 206 yards. That's for real offensive rookie of the year. Now they're running it, so they're not even trying for a touchdown. They're just going to kick the field goal. I don't agree with that at all. They had 18 seconds and a timeout. With how their offense was playing, I'd keep trying for the end zone. So they were playing for the tie rather than the win, which I think is a mistake. $45-yard field goal to tie it up. And he got it. That kick did not look good. Imagine if they had faked it. That would have been hilarious. Is 7 seconds too much? Yeah, if we go into overtime, there's going to be more points. You're right. With 7 seconds, they might not even have 7. They'll have more like 3. Please have a pair of balls and run a Hail Mary. They're not. Darn it. They should have. They should have. Why not? What do you lose? Overtime it is. Through 4 quarters, we do not have a winner. Wizards 52, Chiefs 52. Whoever wins the coin toss is winning the game. It's that simple. Who wins the toss? It's tails. The Chiefs win the toss. Wizards? Hey, Wizards, tails never fails. So, the Chiefs winning the toss. It's the opposite between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. This time, Josh Allen wins the toss. So, the Wizards are probably in a little bit of trouble. The Wizards are also defending the wrong way. They're defending with the wind against them. Why would they do that? All right. Can the Chiefs finish off the job? What if Josh Allen sells? It's possible. Oh, he almost did. Oh, that was close. That was very close. 2nd and 10. Incomplete again. Okay, now it's a 3rd down. Both teams have been really good on 3rd down. But what if they don't get it here? That'd be crazy. Allen to the sidelines. He did. Oh, he did get it. Oh, I thought the first down marker was ahead of them. That might have been the field goal line, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, why would the field goal line be before the 50? So at first I thought that wasn't a first down. They got it again for about 11. Michael Gallup is over 10 catches. Emmett Barton is over 10. Tyreek Hill's got to be at like 10. The offensive box score for this game is going to be nuts. Nice hit. They get 3. Honestly, if the Chiefs are in field goal range and it's a 4th down, they should not kick. If you're the Chiefs, you cannot let the Wizards get the ball back. They have to end it now. 2nd and 7. Allen backed up off his back foot to the end zone. Ball game over. The Chiefs win it. In a very fitting way to end the game. O.J. Howard with the game-winning touchdown in overtime, and the Chiefs win 58-52. This has to undoubtedly be one of the greatest games in OFL history. Josh Allen has thrown for 7 touchdowns, which ties an NFL record, and is definitely an OFL record. And the Wizards, who scored 52 points today, are eliminated. The second highest scoring game in American professional football history. I heard OJ and thought you were going to say something about Simpson. So the Chiefs will host the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship, and so far, every home playoff team in the AFC has won. No Josh Allen Jags slander. 511 passing yards for the Wizards, 542 for the Chiefs. I imagine both quarterbacks had a perfect passer rating, right? No, but they were both very close. Josh Allen, 37 of 46, 561 yards. That, I think, is a record for most passing yards in a game. And Mahomes is in the top, like, 3. Most passing yards in a game ever, 554 by Norm Van Brocklin. Second most is Y.A. Tittle with 505. So Josh Allen is first, and Patrick Mahomes is third. 7 touchdowns for Mahomes, which is also a record. 5 for Mahomes. And Jaleel Hood. He had the pass on the fake field goal. This was what I was really excited to see. Emmett Barton, the rookie, 13 for 217 and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 11 for 264 and 3. Michael Gallup, 10 for 169 and 2. O.J. Howard, 7 for 118 and 2. Nutty. Quite the game, and we've still got another one. We still have the Huskies and Saints. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2. 1. Who's 1? Convinced we would have gotten both teams over 100 with 15 minutes. You might not be wrong. Did you just see 52-52? It was 58-52, actually, but yeah. Are the Ravens going to get slapped by the Chiefs? Let's not act like Kansas City's offense was good. Their defense was good today. They allowed 52 points. Their defense sucked. Eye for an eye. As good as the Chiefs' offense was, their defense was horrible. 58-52. It was 52-52 going into the first overtime, and then the Chiefs scored a touchdown and won the game. I don't think the Huskies are going to score 54. Although I guess if the Chiefs can score 58, then anything's possible. The playoff debut for Hector Estrada Jr. He was on the Tigers when they had that game against Denver. The playoff game that was kind of like the one we just had, where both offenses just went friggin' nuclear. All right, Hector can pick his jerseys, and we can pick the Saints jerseys. Do we want to go alternate classic again? Although theirs is black, and so is the Huskies. Can we speed the game up? Well, if there's not a touchdown every 5 plays, then we can probably move faster. Gray jerseys. Oh, dark gray. Okay, so we probably want the Saints to wear white. Or like a gold. Do they have a gold anywhere in here? They have to. They definitely have the gold in here somewhere. Yeah, do we want the Saints to wear gold or white? They both scored 52 points in 9-minute quarters. Yep, that is correct. Score prediction. I feel like you guys are disrespecting the Saints a little bit. I mean, they beat Seattle. Imagine if this randomly matches Chiefs-Wizards. 1 vote for gold. I vote for gold too, so that's 2. Does anybody care if the Saints wear gold or not? Going once, going twice? Okay, gold it is. Gold, gold. It appears I made the right choice. Gold. All right, the final game of the day. We've got another blizzard here in Toronto. Remember the last time we had a blizzard in Toronto for the NFC Divisional round? A certain Hail Mary happened. probably the most iconic play in OFL history, which our good pal Nick still remembers very well to this day. The playoff debut for MVP candidate Hector Estrada Jr. Will we be able to match the Chiefs and the Wizards? No, probably not, but we'll still have some fun. This floor looks more like regular snow. The last game was more slush. Imagine if it's just all-out defense. That would be very ironic. So here's Hector Estrada Jr. leading the way. Had an MVP-type season for the Toronto Huskies, leading them to the best record in the OFL. And now we finally get to see what he can do in the playoffs. Imagine if users were playing the last game. 0-0, someone will score in the 6th overtime. Please no, I don't feel like waiting here for 6 overtimes. Especially if there's no offense. Third and 6. They certainly want to avoid a 3 and out. Hector's first playoff pass is good enough for a first down to the sidelines for 16. By CJ Uzoma, the midseason waiver pickup. In 66 overtimes, even better, or 69. We would be here for like a week. After like 5 overtimes, I would probably hop in and play just to end it. Or maybe I would, after like 4 or 5 overtimes, I'd let Siri pick who wins. Siri pick a number between 1 and 2. Whoever gets it wins the game. Imagine if I did that. That would be slightly mean. Or if we just simcasted the rest without watching it. F school, I'm watching all OFL 69 overtimes, dude. Hell yeah, dude. 4th and 1, they have to punt it, so their first drive is a failure. I forgot what a punt was. We did not see a punt the entire last game. So here's New Orleans featuring Trey Lance, who had a very good playoff debut against the 2-time defending champion Seattle Seahawks, who won't be the defending champs much longer. New Orleans shocked the world last week against the 2 seed. Can they do it here against the 1 seed? Fred Warner is going to go balls out, balls deep. Well, he didn't on that play. Pitch to the outside. I can't tell if he got it. He did not. 3rd and 1. 3rd and a short 1. And they don't get it. Singletary loses a yard. Hey, Fred Warner. Ball's out, ball's deep in your mom. So that'll be a 3 and out and a punt. We're already halfway through the first quarter. It's weird having a game go fast now. Because the Wizards-Chiefs game was so slow. It was slow for good reason, but it was still slow. So far, we've got a defensive start. And these are the same sliders that we just used. I didn't touch the sliders. Most yards I ever threw in a Madden game was 1,067. I don't think my record would be that high. Although the very first football game I played, it was like backyard football on the Wii. I think I won like 134-0. I don't remember exactly, but maybe I threw 1,067 yards on that play. And it's a holding on Kendrick Green. Former OFL Viking, by the way. I forgot he played for this team now. Why do we keep running in snow? I mean, it did. The Chiefs and Wizards both didn't really run it well. They just aired it out the whole game. It might be combined of what one team scored last game. Either that would be high scoring if it was like 52 total points. One on rookie mode, 15-minute quarters. I won 235 to nothing. That sounds like a fun hour. 2nd and 20. There's the MVP candidate. Hector Estrada connecting with Mike Evans as Daniil Hunter is hurt. That's kind of a big deal. And he's not going to the locker room, so he's probably fine. We have the players for the Pixel set. It's going to be a fun one. Are you actually using a punter? If it is, his name better rhyme with Whack Box. Trey Sermon's playing mid today. So in other words, Trey Sermon's playing like normal Trey Sermon. 3rd and 9. Hector for the end zone. It is incomplete. They could go for a 58-yard kick. Are they going to do it or not? I think this is the right call. With the snow, you don't really know what to expect, so you should just punt it. There's not a baseball league. Baseball league. We were going to do a punter, but since Real told y'all, we didn't do a punter. Oh, he told us so he could get out of doing a punter. Oh. Oh, as in 0-0, it's a low-scoring baseball game. That would make sense, if that's what you were implying. Maybe you didn't imply that, I don't know. Why did we go for the... Well, he probably wasn't aiming to go for the touchback, but not every punter is going to, like, aim it perfectly. 3rd and 5. Incomplete. Thought there was an OBL for BL. We don't have a baseball league currently. So they have to punt it. Good kick. This is such a change of pace from the last game. There's still no score. We've had like 2 first downs the entire day. Quick gain of 2 for Philip Dorsett. Another former OFL Viking. He was quite bad with us. Good run for Sermon. He now has it to the 46. And that'll probably be the last play of the quarter, unless they get one more off. And they will not. First quarter in the books. If you like defense, then you probably have not liked today's stream much, but here you go. Here's a fun low-scoring game. Tied at 0. Not a lot of offense. The Saints have 11 total yards. At least the Huskies have had a few good offensive plays, and they've been able to move the chains a little bit. New Orleans, on the other hand, has done nothing. So I'd be a little bit more optimistic with this start if I was Toronto, although, yeah, their offense has also been blah. I don't think Toronto's had a drive with multiple first downs yet. Can they change that here on 3rd and 4? No baseball league, but there's a basketball league. That's an A+ transition. Good plug. See, kids, that's how you plug. They did on the first... They may have had multiple on the first drive, but they still didn't get a whole lot going. Now they kind of are a little bit. I think 2 guys tried to catch that. Well, somebody caught it, so that's really all that matters. Second and 8. Hector nearly sacked with a shot for the end zone, and it's caught, but out of bounds. I don't think he got 1 foot in, let alone both. So now it's a 3rd and 8. They're not really in field goal range. Now they kind of are, though. Even though they don't get the first down, they should be able to kick it here and score. That was not even close to being it. Oh, they're going for it! Okay. Sure. Why not? And they got it, but barely. Mike Evans gets 4. So the scoreless tie is still alive. That's not even close to a touchdown. He didn't get either foot in, let alone both. His feet were down out of bounds. He caught it, but he didn't catch it in the end zone. 2nd and 3. They got it again. Are you the only one who misses Spurs Kawhi? Honestly, you're kind of onto something. Spurs Kawhi was kind of good. Obviously, Toronto Kawhi is number 1. But I would pick Spurs Kawhi over Clippers Kawhi because Spurs Kawhi played, except for that last year. But other than that. First and goal now at the 7. Hector's under pressure. He is sacked on the play by Jonathan Grenard for a loss of 9. Beat the evil. How are the Saints an evil empire? They've won 1 playoff game. Their coach has been a coach in this league for a week. I don't think they're anywhere close to an evil empire. 3rd and goal from the 12. Can they finally put points on the board? He has all day. Kicks, fires, incomplete. So after about 15 minutes, we finally have points. Assuming he makes a kick. Which he does. Our first points on the board after the last game saw a total of 110 points. This game took 15 minutes for either team to score. Please be Cody Parkey. They beat the other evil... Well, it's not like the evil empire gets passed around like the old maid. I mean, the Saints beat the evil empire, but that doesn't mean they're now the new one. Other than the last game, the Saints have not really done anything impactful in OFL 22. That was their first playoff win, albeit a big one. But their offense is not suggesting evil empire vibes. Trey Lance just completed his first pass of the game. We're nearly 16 minutes in. That's how long it took for him to complete a pass. And they're only down by 3. They're nowhere close to out of it. Good run to the right side. Plus, New Orleans starts with the ball in the second half, too. So if they can score here, that'd be a big deal to tie it or take the lead while starting with the ball. Seahawks were flukes. Yeah, you're really exposing them with that big dent on the scoreboard. I mean, your defense has been good, but your offense has laid an egg for the most part. First and 10, Lance for the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown by the Offensive Player of the Year candidate, Courtland Sutton. Sutton, throughout OFL 22, has been like that one meme where it's like a crappy house and a crappy garage, but there's a super fancy car, and Courtland Sutton is the fancy car. But now that his team is doing something, maybe he's the fancy car in front of a nice house with a nice garage. With a nice driver of the car, that being Trey Lance. That was a cool analogy. I deserve a pat on the back for that. All right, a minute and a half to go, 7-3. If the Huskies don't score here, I'm not going to say they're in trouble. They're not in an ideal spot because they'd be losing, and they don't start with the ball. Love how much of the contrast this game as the last one has been. I think the weirdest part about this is with the exact same sliders. And these are two of the better offenses in the league. So, it's good to know that Madden can be very spontaneous. Madden's spontaneousness, I know a lot of people don't like it, and I understand why, but it can be good at times as well. Like this. Octa, you get 3 claps. And a pat on the back. That's a lot of time for Hector. Minute 14 and 3 timeouts. They have plenty of time. That fascist. Cortland Sutton is a fascist, apparently. The more you know, kids. Love watching good defense. I enjoy the occasional good defensive game every now and then. I do prefer action, and usually that comes offensively. But I do understand and respect a nice, good, low-scoring game like this. Especially in the snow, in the playoffs. There's a nice play. They bring it to the 25. Need to see, yeah, it'd be a little more fun if there were, like, turnovers and sacks and stuff, but you beggars be choosers, I guess. I don't know. They're down only under 30 seconds now. Hector goes short. I think that's Crowder to the 5. They should call time. They do with 15. Knowing Madden, they're going to kick here. They should not. But knowing this game, they're going to... Oh, they're not. Okay, good for them. They're at the 5-yard line. Just don't throw it in the field of play. You have 3 snaps. They have enough time to run 3 plays. Just don't throw it in the field of play, you morons. They're lucky that worked out. That was a really bad decision to throw it in the middle of the field. Now, luckily for them, Irv Smith was able to maneuver by defenders, but that's a difference of 7 points right there. So a big touchdown for the Huskies, and they take the lead 10-7. So the Saints probably are not going to have enough time to run a Hail Mary, although Trey Lance does have an absolute nuke for an arm, so if anyone's going to do it, he's high on the list. We've seen the road team throw Hail Marys in the playoffs in Toronto before, so I wouldn't put it past them. But again, knowing that, they're just going to run the clock out. Would you like Lamar for cheese? How could they be a duo? They play the same. They both play quarterback. I don't know how that would work. Second and inches. I think they are going to throw the Hail Mary here. Oh, I don't even know if they're running a Hail Mary. No, Lance just throws it away. That's some Mac Jones type stuff to throw it away on a Hail Mary. At least this time, though, unlike Mac Jones, it wasn't for the game. Can I make Lamar? I mean, if you trade for him and you want him to play running back, then I guess be my guest. 10-7, the Huskies lead here at halftime. The winner will play against the New York Football Giants in the NFC Championship game, who narrowly beat the Vikings in overtime because EA doesn't love me like it used to. New Orleans starts with the ball, so the Saints are hanging in there. They're playing a competitive game. I don't think many people expected the Saints to play that well today. I nuked Tornado. I'll trade Sam Howell, who outplayed Hector. Trey Lance ain't got that dog. I mean, he hasn't been bad. 4 for 6, 75 yards and a touchdown. Other than the big throw to Sutton, he hasn't done anything good, but he also hasn't really done anything bad. He's been very mid. There's a nice throw. Wide open down the field. Toronto's lead might not last too long. I think that's Singletary off the races for a 71-yard touchdown to put the Saints back ahead. Now the offenses are starting to wake up a little bit. The Octivengers to beat the evil, fascist, and imperialist Saints. Dear God. Singletary is now a fascist, apparently. Hector doesn't have the dog in him. He's inside the dog. That doesn't make sense. Will Sam Howell return to start? He might be higher than Rodgers next year. He might already be higher than Rodgers at this point. I'm not sure. But they probably should, unless they play San Francisco again, which I don't think would be possible. Let's nuke New York. Quick sack for Danielle Hunter. They overthrew the Seahawks. I feel like you're treating this as if these are like countries. I guess if one umpire threw out another one, then they would become the umpire. But these aren't countries. These are football teams. On 3rd and 20, Hector off his back foot heaves up a prayer. It's caught by Evans at the 26. When in doubt, just heave it up for Mike Evans, and he'll probably catch it. Yeah, that's not how it works. This isn't ancient Europe. Let's go blow New Jersey up. Mike Evans in watched games is Megatron. That's honestly true. I'm like Chief Keef, finna go and blow New Jersey up. I guess Denmark feels like Chief Keef. Mike Evans is in the zone. That's not really a surprise. Don't think I've seen a screen where nope. Madden teams run screens too much, and they don't normally work. If these teams were smart, they would all just take screens out of their playbook. 2nd and 10. I almost said Mahomes. Hector is under pressure and sacked by oh no, Jabari Zuniga's hurt. I don't know who got the sack. The Huskies' offensive line's been questionable today, as it has throughout the year. Better than it was last year, but still not ideal. Hector in the pocket, under more pressure, sacked for a 4th time. Is that Zachary Carter? I think his name has 2 C's. Fun fact of the day. Gonna say something racist if we don't get the touchdown. Oh boy. What's it gonna be? So New Orleans is still ahead, only by 1, however, 14-13. You effing... Okay, I can't say the rest. So we have to fill in the blank. Fascists. Is that the answer? I get hard on every time I witness good defensive plays. Well, today you've gotten a full-blown chub. The last game, you got, not a chub. Cortland Sutton breaks 2 tackles. Can he get to the end zone? Not quite. He stopped at the 7. Trey Lance has completed 7 passes, and he has 210 yards. This whole divisional round has been drunk, and I'm here for it. Are your sentences of overreactions and drama unintelligent or funny? I would say a mix of both, which isn't a bad thing. Second and goal at the 1. Singletary into the end zone for a touchdown. Can the New Orleans Saints make it an 8-point game? Well, they will. It's still a 1-possession game. If Toronto scores a touchdown and gets a 2-point conversion, they can tie it. The screen worked. History has been made, folks. And not just because we had 110 points in one game today. The bigger history was that a screen pass actually worked. This game changed quick. no defense for a quarter and a half, and then a flip has been switched. And it has been all offense for the past, really, 10 minutes. The offensives were like, yeah, we've had enough. We're going to start trying now. The Saints' offense was worse at the beginning, but they've been better over the last 10 minutes. And that's obviously been more important since they're winning. No defense for... Yeah, I was right. There was no defense. Oh, I meant to say no offense. There was no offense for a quarter and a half. You know what I meant. 3rd and 3. Nope. Didn't get it. The Huskies are now in a little bit of trouble. The number 1 overall seed is starting to lose grips. They're in real danger. If you choose the Seahawks for your series, you can make Bo Melton a stud. That's true. That's a small perk, but a perk. I don't think Bo Melton's going to really influence my decision, but if I pick Seattle, then I can be a little bit excited about him. Good run for Singletary. We need to nuke New Orleans and make them surrender. Well, the Saints aren't in New Orleans, so that wouldn't really do anything. Why do we punt it? Because you had it on, like, your own 20-something. That would have been stupid to go for it this early. If there was 2.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, that's different. Please do Bo Melton for Pixelated. Choose the Pats. You could get Macaroni Jones, 5-star Macaroni. Well, the Pats are already out of the running. Fix your sliders. Yeah, I'm good. Quarter number 3 in the books. The Saints are 1 quarter away from doing it again. This is like the Shamrocks run in year 1. They beat the 2 seed, which was... I don't remember. They beat whoever the 2 seed was. Then they beat the 1-seeded Pioneers, who were the favorites going into the whole thing, just like the Huskies were here. And Singletary's going to keep moving. All those people wanted the Viking, all those quote-unquote people, because it was just the same guy. Yeah, we were able to catch on to that pretty quickly. 1st and 10, Lance, incomplete. Oh, I don't know if Naruto saw that he won. Yeah, you guys won. You guys play the winner of this game. And you have a chance to go in the Ofl Bowl if you win the NFC Championship. That should have been picked. But I guess the defensive back wasn't close enough. Why the Vikings? I think it was just one person who really might have been a Vikings fan or something, or they really wanted the Vikings. So I think what they did was they created a bunch of accounts to make it look like 6 or 7 people wanted the Vikings. Did he get that? Ooh, that's close. They're not going to give it to him. What do you do? 4th and 1 at the 43. Grow a pair of balls and go for it. That's 100% the right call by the Saints. And it works. That's a good call. Now the Huskies are really in trouble. The Huskies' defense was dominant, and then they just have forgotten how to play football. That was Treylon Burks with the play for 17. Singletary again with a big run. The world is doomed. The 7th seed over here is going to massacre and kill us all. They are worse and more imperialist than the Patriots and Brady. They won 6 Super Bowls. These guys have won 1 playoff game. They slayed the Empire. Now they're going to get to the... So if they do win this game, that'll be 2 playoff games that they've won. 4 less than the amount of rings that the Patriots won. So, I don't know. 2nd and 7, they got another conversion. Fred Warner knows they are in trouble in all caps. I love how everyone was hyping up the Huskies and Vikings playing against each other in the NFC Championship game, and now both of these teams are probably not going to make the NFC Championship. Did he really catch that? He caught it, but then he kind of let it go quickly. I mean, I guess he had possession of it, but okay. Auden Tate, 28-13, and now the Huskies are in big trouble, down by 15. They need a touchdown, a stop, and another touchdown, and on one of those touchdowns, they need a 2-point conversion, and that's just to tie it. Should you shut your mouth or continue? I'm kind of enjoying it. It's fun. Most of it doesn't really make sense. I don't know how you can compare them to countries, but I keep going. Saints are a dark horse. Now at this point, they're almost not even a dark horse because they've beaten the two. Assuming they win this game, they'll have beaten the two best teams in the NFC. They'll have beaten the Huskies, who are the best team in the league throughout the year, and the Seahawks, who have won back-to-back Ofl Bowls. Can they beat the Giants, though? The Giants are good. In the NFC, every lower seed has won, except for the Giants beating us. And in the AFC, every higher seed has won. Kind of odd. Five minutes to go. Toronto's season is on the line. Hector heaves up a prayer downfield. Oh, my Lord, what a catch. Toronto's not going to go out without a fight. That was Chase Claypool to the 15. And then they're going to lose about 8 on a run, or 7. That's a Trey Sermon we all know and love. That wasn't even really the defensive back's fault. That was just a ridiculous catch. Second and 17. They make up a lot of the yardage from the loss, and now it's a 3rd and 7. Third and 7 of the 13. They got it. They get 8. First and goal. Sermon gets the touchdown. So the Huskies bring it back to 1 possession. Are they going to go for 2 now, or are they going to wait? They're going to wait. So the Huskies have to get a stop. Their defense started off really good, but it's been terrible since. So they need a stop, they need a touchdown, and they need a 2-point conversion. Not likely, but not impossible. They could think about an onside kick here. They're not. Probably the right call. So we'll see if the Saints can chew clock and finish it off. They can get a couple first downs. They can pull off the upset. Your score prediction was 30-20. That's awfully close. We just need the Huskies to get a 1-point safety. And the Saints to get a 2-point safety. Why do we never get... We had a fumble in the last game. Saints are in a very good spot still. They have the lead on the ball, so they still have the momentum. Why would they snap it? The game clock was ahead of the play clock. That's kind of stupid. They essentially gave Toronto a 3 timeout. They could have just waited until the 2-minute warning and then snapped it after. That's kind of dumb. 3rd and inches, biggest play of the game. Trey Lance with the QB keeper. And he fumbled it! What did Hector just say about the fumbles? And that ball was clean out, too. Fred Warner's hurt, though. Wow, there's a lot to take in there. So Trey Lance fumbled it. That ball looked way out before he was down. There's no way they're going to review that. But Fred Warner appears to be out for the game. But now the Huskies have a real shot. Yes, you see, kids, maybe they shouldn't have snapped it before the 2-minute warning. That was a mistake. Fred Warner sacrificed himself. And now the Huskies live to see another day. But they're not going to have the ball for long. Hector is picked off by Sean Murphy Bunting, who has likely just sent the Saints to the Ofl Bowl. It's not quite over, but that is obviously a major blow. In the most important drive of Hector's career, he throws an interception. And now a first down pretty much ends it. They still have their timeout saved up, though. You are the Satan. Jesus Christ. 2nd and 6. The Saints are ready to punch their tickets to MetLife. They can just taste it. And he got it. That's the game. Devin Singletary wins it for New Orleans. The Huskies still have a timeout, but there's less than a minute 20 left. So if the Saints just kneel out the clock, then they will lose. Wow. Who could have seen this coming? The 7th-seeded New Orleans Saints, who made the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, beat the defending champion Seahawks and the number 1-seeded Toronto Huskies. 28-20. Hector Estrada Jr. throws an interception on his final pass of the year. So the Saints play the Giants. The Chiefs play the Ravens. All of the relocation teams lost. Hector Estrada Jr. was not bad throughout the game, but that interception at the end sold it. Trey Lance, perfect passer rating. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes did not have a perfect passer rating in the last game. That seems stupid, but okay. Devin Singletary was good. Trey Sermon was mid. Hugh G. Rection Sr., the number 2 overall pick, allowed 3 sacks. Not great. New Orleans' pass rush was pretty good. Toronto's not so much. All right, we've got our 4. I don't think anybody could have expected this combination of 4. We've got the Chiefs and Ravens, the top 2 seeds in the AFC. Mainly chalk in the AFC. And then in the NFC, it's been total friggin' chaos with the Saints and the Giants of all teams. Who's going to win Player of the Week, Allen or Mahomes? It'll probably be Allen because he broke the sack record and he threw for the yards record and threw 7 touchdowns and won. So it'll probably be him. Yep, Josh Allen, Bobby Wagner, Sean Murphy Bunting, and Mac Jones. What do these 4 all have in common? They all won. And they won Player of the Week. So the AFC Championship is the Chiefs and the Ravens. The NFC Championship is the Giants and the Saints. The Giants have not had a home playoff game the entire playoffs until now. So the Conference Championship stream, I think it's going to be Wednesday. I think that's the plan. We'll look at the injury report for the 4 teams. The Chiefs, still without Marlon Mack and Savell Smalls, both of whom will be healthy for the Ofl Bowl if they were to make it. The Giants, nobody. The Ravens, nobody. The Saints, Anthony Harris is out 5 weeks. So only 3 injuries amongst the 4 teams left. So I'm not entirely sure of the timing yet. If they do the challenge late, then it'll probably be before the challenge, I think. But we'll see. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Quite the stream. Quite the set of 4 games. I think we've been live for over 3 hours now, which is a lot. But, yeah, we had 4 very exciting games. Yes, the Saints did end up winning. Hector Estrada Jr. threw an interception with like a minute left to blow it. So that'll wrap it up. We'll be back probably Wednesday for the conference championships and find out who makes the